This episode brought to you by Deja Vu.
Deja Vu.
What the fuck? I feel like I've done this before.
Oh, do you? Hey everybody, we're watching Double Dragon, and you're listening to Miscast Commentary.
You're listening to Miscast Commentary, where two guys have seen way too many movies and have way too much time on their hands.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Now here's your hosts, Joe Findlay and Todd Murray.
Hey everybody, welcome to Miscast Commentary. I'm Joe Findlay.
I'm Todd Tebow, the Sailor Murray.
And finally, we bring it to you. We talked for ages about this movie with our guest B.J. Mendelson from last week. We talked for a long time. You're going to hear the full interview on Monday.
Yeah.
But you're going to hear a lot about it during this episode. You can hear
Yeah.
excerpts from that whole interview.
I was going to say, well, I hope they'll hear about it as we're watching that very movie.
Yeah, so...
We talked about this damn movie for so long that I feel like we starred in it and wrote it.
I know. I actually, for a while, was signing autographs for Party of Five things, because I'm like, well, I am Scott Wolf, am I not?
I've been signing for Alyssa Milano.
Ooh.
I got some titties. The titties are out today.
Yeah. You got a lot of people who look like us going, I masturbated to you every day. And you're like, oh, did you like Charmed? And you're like, no, first season of Who's the Boss.
Sweet. No, they come and they go.
You remember when she was a 9-year-old tomboy?
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah.
That's my poster on my ceiling. They come up and they're like, I've been jerking off over you for years. And I'm like, do you think I'm Alyssa Milano? They're like, no, I know you're Todd. I'm like, oh, God.
I'm smashing the whole thing up.
Jesus Christ. That's like one whole movie for me. You just did in one go there.
I'm hammered. That's not true. All right, so... this episode's going to run a little bit different than we are used to because we are actually playing clips from our interview.
Unreal.
We are going to...
The future is right now.
We're going to throw to those from time to time. But like I said, stay tuned for so much more. On Monday, we're going to release the entire near 2-hour interview with BJ, which covers all of the stuff that was from the mini episode, as well as all of the stuff from this episode, but we go into so much detail and we go on so many tangents and all these different things.
It's really good.
It
is really good. Like, and I'm not just saying this because I am an egomaniac. It is really, really good, actually. We dig in, man. We dig our heels in. We ask the tough questions.
If you enjoy this show or if you enjoy the work of BJ Mendelson, please check that out because it is a must listen.
We're like nuts and gum together at last.
Finally. I like chewy and crunchy and sweet and salty and
all that shit together.
All right, guys. Only one thing left to do with this awesome movie.
I thought you were going to say turkey for a second.
I literally was going to say turkey, and I shut, and I'm like...
I can, see it in your eyes.
But all that aside, one thing left to do, and that is...
You got it. Pressing play.
No, we're not.
No, I didn't say now yet. I didn't say it.
All right, well, sorry. I'm running two computers at the exact same time, and it becomes problematic when I don't grab the
Pressing play now.
All
right. Excellent. Here we go.
So you're starting off well when you don't recognize the logo, Imperial Entertainment. It looks like the margarine.
My God, I think it is margarine. Because this movie's smooth as butter, baby.
Oh, well done.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for selling it. I appreciate
butter. You know what's funny? Okay, so now not only do we have this little video game theme thing going, but Double Dragon... Actually, so it feels like we watched this movie twice because we talked about it for so damn long.
Oh my God, did we ever?
Okay, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to dig deep into the tank of bullshit and really, because we were talking for so long. But then we had the, then we gotta watch Mario again. So we have to watch two video game movies twice.
We announced last week during the thing that we're following this up with Mario Brothers had a catastrophic failure with the Mario Brothers record, and we have to re-record it before we release it, and we are not looking
Thank God.
forward to that.
No, I actually am. I was
Yeah, we were
praying
not
for
in
the
a good-
sweet release of death during that movie.
We were not in a really good space. But we're going to get this bad boy going off right off
we
the
should
bat.
get
And
that necklace.
And we got to listen to the first excerpt from
Okay.
the interview. Right about now. Their prologue has nothing to do with the video game, but gives you at least an idea of what is going to occur. And Super Mario Brothers had a very similar one where they were like, once upon a time, there were the dinosaurs. And like, it's just all these different things that I'm like, but you could explain the video game essentially, go, this is kind of what world we're in, but this is what we're on a different adventure. And then you can basically forgive everything from there. But instead, they just tell a story that almost has nothing to do with the movie. Except the medallion.
You know what was my favorite part of that? I don't know if anyone remember. I don't know if you guys remember this. There was a show. There was a syndicated Mortal Kombat TV show.
Yes.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat Conquest.
That featured Mark Dacascos as Kung Lao.
Tell me that the opening scene, the Double Dragon, it looks like that they shot on that set with the same actors on the same budget. Like, it looks like they just took footage from Mortal Kombat Conquest and then just wedged it into the start of the film because they knew that it was running a little short.
Well, that Al Leong was probably in it still. He's in every movie, so he was in Big Trouble in Little China. He was in everything.
Oh, my God.
So he was probably there. But yeah, so now we get the idea that, okay, this movie is all about the medallions, and then we also I also assumed that all of that stuff was flashback when they were, the ninjas were fighting the townspeople and whatever. I'm like, this is all part of the big flashback, and you're going to find out that these people are going to be descendants, because I just didn't remember. And then all of a sudden she whips out a computer.
What we loosely will call a computer.
Yeah.
I think that might be very polite to call it a computer.
Yeah, it was like a Brother electric typewriter with a fake satellite glued to the top of it. But
did you catch her typing? Did you?
Random. Not. It's what you usually what a secretary in a movie types when you can't see what she's typing. Yeah. All right. So that was BJ talking about the beginning of this thing, and he has so many thoughts about this movie. I don't think
He's thought about this movie way too much.
I don't think I gave this movie a second thought after I saw it the first time, but let's give thought to a frosty tipped, a vanilla ice looking Robert Patrick.
This guy, eh?
Good Lord. But I really did think, so we were looking at that kind of prologue thing, and I thought that took place fully in the past. And then you see that it's currently in the present, because everybody who was just in that scene is in this
Is here now. Well, no, I mean, it was probably 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's a prologue in that, of course, it took place in the physical past.
The dude on the right there is in every movie we've ever watched.
Yeah, his name's Al Leong, or Long, but he was in Big Trouble in Little China.
Holy
he's in all
Christ.
sorts of shit like that. He was in Die Hard. He's in the Bill and Ted movie. He's Genghis Khan in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He was in Showdown in Little Tokyo, which we haven't done, but
Did you say Die Hard?
Yeah. First, I said Big Trouble in Little China first.
Too busy staring at this wonderful human being.
I know.
You know what I watched last night too? Terminator 2, starring this gentleman in VHS.
Yeah, he is the man of just everything. He was in Die Hard 2, Terminator 2, obviously. There's no bigger role. He's played T-1000 in more things than, Frasier has. Because he was in, Wayne's World 2 playing this character. He does the...
Oh, that's right!
He does the ride. Like the Universal
ride.
Oh,
yeah, this is where he goes into Take On Me world. Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah. Talking away. It's so weird looking.
Get your tips frosted.
Oh, good God.
In a black and white world.
Okay, so we got to get into this now. We've got another excerpt from the interview with BJ regarding this scene. Let's talk for just a brief moment about the casting in this. So you get young Mark Dacascos, who was a legitimate martial artist, not yet the chairman of Iron Chef. But
is that what he does now?
If you watch Iron Chef America from the very beginning, he plays the chairman's nephew, and he just basically he announces what the secret food is. So he'll go battle apricots, and then he'll maybe do a backflip or something like that, and then he'll just walk around while other people talk about food.
I need to watch this now because, when I was little, I had a little bit of a crush.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, okay, that That's the dude.
You get him, and so he's
Okay.
legit. He's an unknown, and it's
Yeah.
kind of a good grab. But then you get Scott Wolf. What was
Clearly a kung fu expert.
Yeah, like he literally. There was a shot when the both of them have to kick Robert Patrick, and he literally
Right.
didn't get above his knee.
Yeah,
I love
so
that.
he's
like-
What a kick.
It's a split second shot, but if you like freeze it, you see he's kicking him in the shin.
Again, Kevin Smith has told this story, I think, in his book. When he was at Miramax, they had these different actors mapped out that they had plans for.
Mhm.
I kind of wonder if it was the same thing with him with him here, where they're like, all right, we'll put him in double jacket so people can see him, but then we're gonna have, like we've got this master plan to put him in all those films, but then this movie just completely derailed it.
Yeah, it was, and then to me, again, not remembering really the guts of the movie, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, he probably had to go through some pretty intense training to get up and running.
Right.
And then literally the first fight he's in, he gives somebody a noogie.
The fight scene, which is there with no explanation whatsoever, it's just like it's a random karate scene.
Tag team karate. You know,
Yes.
that's that thing that everybody did. I was in karate when I was a kid. I remember my tag team partner. All right, we are back.
We are. Did you? Okay, I would really want to talk about that little person who's in charge of that mechanism that keeps the ceiling up.
Well, just think, how many jobs do little people get usually? I mean, that's a nice job for him. It's like, hey, you just do me a favor and keep this place earthquake-proof, little guy. It's
And they're like, how many of these are around?
sorry,
like
did
how-
you say how many of these?
Hi-oh. How? I don't mean how many like little midgets are around. I mean like how many are of poles are holding up the
this
roof
I'm sure.
of the whole place.
I'm sure a lot of places like this have a lot of new reinforcements because of like constant earthquakes and stuff like that.
Is this man getting benefits? Look at him. He's going to town.
Nobody's getting benefits at this point. I feel like the guy on the right should have been played by Flea. That should be Howard Stern and Flea.
No way, that should be the guy. That should be Captain Lou Albano and Flea.
Oh, you wait.
You know what's
destroyed
weird?
me.
What a coincidence. I just ordered something from Jack City last night.
Nice. So, we talk about the director for a quick moment about this. He was a big-time music video director.
Oh my God.
One of his great things that he ever did, though, was Bruce Willis's Return of Bruno music special thing.
Lord.
And then he did some stand-up comedy specials, and then he did a TV Christmas movie that starred Malcolm Jamal Warner. But now we get to way more...
I think I've seen that one.
Oh, really?
I think it's on the W, which I only watch from November 27th to January 9th. Oh my God, Andy Dick.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a second. Did you just see the tan on George Hamilton?
Yeah.
It wasn't even a tan. Now he's like a 10. That was like albino for George
Oh,
Hamilton.
God, yeah.
And
God.
well,
I would
Lisa
also...
Gibbons.
No, that would be Vanna White.
Vanna White. Ah,
Yeah.
did I say that the first time? Jesus.
Yeah, I think so. When we talked about
It's
this.
just like Lisa Gibbons.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody
But-
would hire Andy Dick for anything.
Yeah, but
I'm
this movie
supposed to
takes
believe
place-
that he's like...
Yeah, this movie takes place in the future, in a land where the environment is garbage, and these guys look as young as they've ever looked.
No, you know what? I was just going to say nobody would hire Andy Dick, but this shows you what a state the world is really in when you turn on the TV and your local weatherman is Andy Dick.
That's, yeah. Well, I feel like that is a thing in L.A. I feel like that guy should have been played by Clint Howard. But he just looked...
Oh my God, eh?
I like this idea. This is kind of like the pre-purge.
Yes.
It's kind of like there's a purge
Look at
every
that.
night.
Oh, he's got a pipe.
Yeah, he's a street
That
tough.
looks pretty good for now.
For a design
That's pretty
standpoint,
good,
that's not bad.
yeah.
It looked very Escape from LA to me.
Yes, it
actually.
did. Yes, it did.
So to talk about the guys who created this bad boy, we talked about it last week. Paul Dini is one of the writers on this. He did episodes of Flash Gordon, He-Man, the Ewoks, Tiny Toons. He worked on every single Batman animated series.
Oh,
Like,
sweet. Even the good one.
Yeah, starting with
best.
the one on Fox and
Yeah.
then other ones. But he is the creator of Harley Quinn and Dr. Freeze.
Sweet.
So,
good
like-
character creation, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I love
So-
Mr. Freeze.
Or Mr. Freeze, yeah, sorry. And I even have Mr. Freeze
Where's
written here.
Hottie?
But
Yeah.
who should he be? He looks like he could be, like, I don't know, Skeet Ulrich maybe. But yeah, so he did a lot of cartoon stuff, which kind of like lends to the style of this movie, I guess. And then Neil Schusterman, who also wrote the story, this was his first project ever. He hadn't worked on anything, but he ended up working on Goosebumps after this. Like the Goosebumps TV show or whatever. Oh my god. Abobo. Now, anybody who knows the video game knows that Abobo, they were those giant, like super muscly, like giant head guys and whatever. So, I mean, okay, I guess. At least they got a reasonably big dude.
Stuff.
Like, to me, I would have gotten, like, the guy who played the Mountain in Game of Thrones. Like, just a big,
huge
yeah,
guy.
like a super strong
this
man.
guy's probably pretty big.
Yeah, well,
I
mean,
like-
he's large, but he's not, like, the
He's not
Abobos looked
monstrous.
abnormal.
Yeah, I love how, like, it's funny because, like, with Mario and this movie, it's both some weird, like, neon town. You know what I mean? Like, why did Double Dragon have to take place in, like, a world torn asunder? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? Like, was that the video game?
No, the
Was
video
it a
game.
dank future?
Well,
and you had to, like...
We talked about it a bit last week, but the basic idea of the video game is girl gets kidnapped at the very beginning.
Right.
Guys go to get the girl.
That's it.
That's the be all end all, and you fight these characters. Abobo was a character. Lash, which is the girl with the whip who we saw earlier in the movie, is one of the characters. And then the guys are the proper characters. Now, depending on the version of Double Dragon you played, they were
is that a flux capacitor?
Yeah,
What the fuck
they're using garbage to like run their rockets. But yeah, essentially it's their
Look at
Mr. Fusion
Yeah.
from Back to the Future. Other writer on this, which is kind of this is more of a like a more seasoned guy, Michael Davis. He was the writer and director of Shoot 'Em Up. He wrote 8 Days a Week, and he was in the art department for Tremors, Ninja Turtles 2, and Encino Man.
Sweet.
So, and then one more writer, because you can't fucking stop, Peter Gold. And he does.
Need more than one person,
they
right?
have
This
so many.
bad man.
Well, they kept having credits and credits and credits. I'm like, oh my god. But Peter Gold, he wrote 11 episodes of Breaking Bad, including some of their other ones, and he is listed as the co-creator of Better Call Saul. That's really, when you look at his IMDb, that's what he has to his name, and Double Dragon. So, like, what happened in the middle? Like, did he just decide I'm not cut out for Hollywood and he just didn't do it, and then somehow he got back in time for Breaking Bad?
He went to the desert and he did peyote for a while.
Yeah,
and then he thought about, Better Call Saul.
I went to Burning Man for a decade and it was awesome.
It's only one night of the year, huh? It is?
Not the way I see
it's
it.
probably a week. I don't know what it is. Fucking Burning Man. I'll burn a man, all right.
Yeah. Something else we did talk about was the...
how crinkly that map is.
Oh,
Ew, that's where I keep all my Velveeta.
Yeah.
My Velveeta.
I was gonna say, it just looked like that's like he doesn't have a puke bag, so he just pukes in the map and refolds it and puts it back in.
Look at Chester Cheeto blew his load in there.
This is, and again, now thinking, I love when they think what they're trying to like future, like be like futurists or something like that. And go, this is what it's going to be like in the future. Look at how high tech this screen is.
This is totally like Mario.
This is like Tron.
This crazy city, like, oh god, why did they feel like it had to be in some wonky craze world?
Well, to me, I feel like if I looked it up, like this guy did Dire Straits Money for Nothing video. Like it looks like that, right?
It's top end special effects right there, man.
So brutal.
How much does this movie cost? This movie already looks way too expensive.
It cost $7.85 million.
That's it? This looks great.
No, it does not. There's no. It objectively does not look great. It also made no money. It made. I'm gonna double check.
It must have made 7 point. You're gonna double check the Double Dragon?
I'm gonna double check the numbers, but it was like it didn't come anywhere near making its money. I don't even think it ever debuted in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, 7.8 million doesn't seem like a couple rentals. Boom, you got it.
Yeah, exactly.
What the frig?
Oh man, but like I don't know, and what is it with punks in movies? They're always like this, like
and they know it doesn't matter how dangerous something is; they're just loving it.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as it's like bad.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this
you just
movie...
shot your mom. They're all laughing.
So lifetime gross, this movie made $2.3 million.
What?
Yeah, that's it. So
was this before or after Party of Five?
This was before Party of Five. Oh no, this was during Party of Five. Party of Five, I think, had started when this came out.
I need to
this
get the station wagon.
Yeah, and that's like just the wood paneled station. Like to me, like they didn't even make an effort to futurize it. Like they were just like, oh, we found an old car and we just stuck pipes on it and everybody's happy.
That's like you're right. It's just like what we would do if we were like in high school making a future movie.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, look, we'll just put some cardboard here, make it look this, strap a fin on it, boom, it's the future.
I told the story of the one time when I just took a bunch of plastic tubs and made drums for music class, and I was humiliated because I had to like present it in front of the class. That's what this entire movie's depart. Like look, we're just gonna like put like little like aluminum teeth on the front of this because it'll look scary.
And this movie isn't even for kids. Like this movie is beyond. Like look at this. No. Like my God.
This movie is only for autistic adults. that is specifically who it's
on
for.
Drugs.
But yeah, to give you the whole rundown of their time in theaters, week 1 they debuted at number 12 with $1.4 million. Week 2 they didn't make the charts. They made $500,000, and that was the end of that. Like they made a little bit of money in the middle, but that's
7.8 mil. Was the game really that popular to warrant a film anyways?
No, the answer's no.
No, what the frig?
I think that I think it was sold as something that was adaptable because they knew other people were making video game movies. But Mario was not. I don't even think it had been finished being shot when this was in pre-production because they came out around the same time. But why is it always a weasel? Like the second guy always has to be a weasel. Wouldn't you think that the number 2 guy, like think of Sons of Anarchy,
right?
Was the number 2 guy ever a weasel? Like,
no.
I'm just gonna stay back here. No, they were always the dude who murdered everybody.
He was the one everybody was scared of because he's
exactly.
a little weird looking guy.
Yeah. Yeah, like he should have been. I never understand this. Oh, now here's when the Lost Boys come in.
Oh, here we go. Right.
Yeah.
Look, it's like a fucking MC Hammer video starting up. Look at these fucking guys.
I was gonna say Beat It.
Yeah.
It's like when they like.
Oh, they're getting ready.
Have they been there the whole time? That's my question. And did he kill a bunch of them when he skidded up against the wall on the way in?
Yeah, was that what that was supposed to be, or did they all kind of sneak in and then like, okay, every time we show our faces, we have to be in a line and we'll turn.
Well, here's another problem.
Did they get it all set up?
They're only able to fight in this alley under that.
Well, yeah.
Unless they did that exact mural in every single alleyway.
They carry that with them.
Oh, okay.
How old is Alyssa Milano here?
She's an adult. I don't know how.
That's good.
Yeah, you can masturbate to her.
Okay,
I would argue
that she's
as sexy as she's been.
I agree. Look at that blonde Eminem early hair.
It's the Daisy Dukes. Whoa! You can see some vag in that shot. Something that was crazy actually. Scott Wolf and Alyssa Milano started dating during this movie, and they were engaged at one point.
No way.
That didn't go through, of course, because it's Hollywood.
I wonder how many times Alyssa Milano has been engaged.
I got engaged to her twice.
I wanted to tell you this for years now, and I don't want you to be jealous.
Yeah.
I have been training Kung Fu with Scott Wolf's Kung Fu teacher from this film.
Oh my God, you must be able to almost do the splits.
I can almost kick.
Nice.
I don't mean kick well, I just mean it literally kick.
Yeah. That was the one thing, and you hear me mention it very briefly in an earlier clip there, but they made no effort to train him. I think
they made no effort to train anybody.
In any movie that I've ever seen that has like this kind of thing, you would think they would go through some form of training. Like I'm not saying the Matrix training where they had like 6 months of everybody in a room legitimately learning the art.
Yeah.
And not just learning the choreography, but learning how to do the art and then learn the choreography. But like you would think at the very least he would be able to throw a competent, like a yellow belt's front kick. And he can't. I'm
sure even just before this scene, they could be like, just kick like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it looks like nobody, the whole time they were probably, you know what? That would just fix it in post.
Yeah. Like, I feel like he actually was being tricked. And, like, some guy who just wandered onto the set choreographed all his fighting while the actual choreographer was working with Mark Dacascos. And they're like, yeah, my choreographer taught me all this. And he's like, who are you talking about? It's like he was just over there, and you just see a guy sitting in the corner just eating craft services.
It was probably one of those instances where, like, oh, I'm going to sneak onto the set and maybe I can meet so-and-so. And they accidentally bump into the real choreographer. He bangs his head. They stuff him in a locker for the 4 days it took to make this movie. and then he just fakes it.
Could be.
You know?
But
Is there chocolate in that?
I would at least give it a bite to find out. But
Somebody already did.
you see, there's little teeth marks all around the outside of it. Everybody does
We
that.
have to get that. Was that at Comic-Con?
No.
Did you see the double
Nobody
dragon
gives a
double
shit.
necklace?
I need to really point out, nobody gives a shit about this movie but BJ. It's like,
It's strange when people get hooked on, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
It's weird.
And it was just, and again, and sort of, you know, if you really break it down, it was revealed to us that it was really kind of a prank.
The movie.
Doing this movie, which I respect though. So we go back to Satori there that we were just talking about. And you asked earlier what she was in. She was in Rambo: First Blood Part 2. And she was in Ready Player One.
That's right.
So
she was awesome. That's what I know her from, is Rambo Part 2.
Yeah.
She gets killed, doesn't she?
Yeah. And I don't even want to get into the Rambo naming structure. Because there is no movie called Rambo Part 2. It's called First Blood Part 2. It's called Rambo. But then it's Rambo 3. But there was no Rambo 1 or 2. So it should be Rambo 2 First Blood Part 3. Then,
right.
And it's just like...
And I love when they do that.
And then the other one was just called Rambo, like the fourth one there.
But then one of them
First
called
Blood Part
John
2
Rambo.
was already... Like, fuck it. I hate it all.
Rambo? Ramby.
And that's where you see his mother get killed his mother gets killed in the woods and he has to go survive.
That's he never went to Nam. He's
just been wandering around.
He's just sad that his mother got shot by a hunter.
It's a prequel that literally ends with him wandering out of those woods and then First Blood starts.
Exactly. Get out of my town, drifter.
So Linda Lash here is played by Christina Wagner. She was a regular in General Hospital for a long time, and she was in A Low Down Dirty Shame. And then I think that was the end of it for her. I think she remained on General Hospital for a little while.
How cool
she
is that
looks.
guy?
I know. She looks like she was in soaps though. Like there's no questioning that she's.
She looks like that porn star. I can't think of her name though.
Nina Hartley.
Maybe, yeah, that's pretty close actually.
Holy
That's
shit!
not a bad guess. Yeah,
I know.
Dude, that's pretty
no
good.
Porn actresses.
Looks like Nina Hartley mixed with Gina Lee Nolan.
There you go. She's got a lot more.
Nina Lee Nolan.
There you go.
We're taking Buddy into the old.
They got it
like the old freezer bag room.
See, they look like they're holding his hand like he's afraid. Like I don't know where my mom is. And he talks kind of like that too.
Yeah, he's
so
scared of bubble wrap or whatever these people are covered in.
I don't like your frosted tips. They scare me.
Don't you think that if you're gonna frost the tips, you should really do something with the mustache and beard and shit?
No, this was the style of the time. I think he fucking nailed it. To be honest.
Oh yeah. See, just like in fucking Mario.
Mm-hmm.
They're sticking somebody in a chair against their will. This is like the same movie. There's Lisa Gibbons.
What?
She's hot as hell. She's hotter now.
Oh, she's had so much work.
Oh my god! Look at
Shuko Krispies.
Shuko Krispies.
See, I like that. It's a national cereal, but it's very specific to this local mobster.
Yeah,
like that doesn't make
he gets his own cereal. I would too.
I do not care for this wig.
I would have Crunch Berries. All Crunch Berries named after me.
All Todd berries.
Yeah, they'd be called Todd's testicles. Exact shape and color and size.
Yeah, teeny, red, and lumpy.
Exactly. Who's that? Is that Ben Savage?
No. Do you know how many times you've said Ben Savage and never meant it? Actually, it's very funny because very soon we're going to hear you mention that in the interview.
Oh my god. I'm on Ben Savage. I'm on a kick right lately.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't help it.
He was all over Girl Meets World.
Cutie. Did you really mention Ben Savage in the thing?
Yeah. It's
Ben. It's all coming out now, buddy.
All right, we'll reach out to Ben Savage and hopefully get him to reach out and.
Yeah, hopefully he'll reach right into my pants.
I feel like he won't give you a hand job, but he might say hello. Like what did I tell you about like managing expectations?
Yeah, I know. What if we get stick-on tattoos of dragons onto our penis, and then we whip them out at the same time and yell "Double Dragon"?
Then we have to dock them. I'm not asking the circumcised question.
To dock them. You know I've got 2 there.
It's true.
I actually got some added from the Philippines.
Dock yourself, make
it. I got 4 foreskins on that bad boy.
Mine looks like, the Jesus fish that has the legs on it and says Darwin. That's what my penis looks like. But it doesn't say Darwin on it. It's just the It's just the little nubs underneath.
The little nubs.
This movie, I mean, as much as
is
people...
she faking her dad out with this wig?
Yeah.
Because then she leaves into the punk world of like, oh my god, they're learning how to swing dance?
Yeah, pretty much.
What's happening here?
Yeah, they originally had a...
Is this hopscotch of the future?
I don't understand too. Did he beat him? Like, was that a fight they were having? And he just took him
they were
down?
just like, hey, okay, we're going to start the scene, guys. Do some kung fu stuff. And they're going to be like, hey, like, you never taught us any kung fu stuff. Yeah, whatever, come on. And so that's what they pulled out.
And Satori in the back there, they couldn't find, like, wardrobe for her, so they were just raiding Jennifer Aniston's friend's closet.
That's totally... Look at this fucking band.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, shit.
Nice. Look at those sunglasses. I was sunglasses shopping today, and I would take any of those. Especially Al Leong's, like, welder glasses.
Is that his name, Al Leong? I'm going to get it. I need a button with his face.
I would assume it's pronounced Long. I don't think it's Leong.
In the end of this movie, I do believe this is his real voice. Did you find that out at least?
It's not
something useful?
Yeah.
All this bullshit?
He is absolutely dubbed in this movie.
So nuts. The guy's probably been American his whole life.
Yeah, no doubt. You're Shuko.
Like, I mean, come on.
So, and they made a grave mistake here, too. So they've given this guy the name Kokoshuko, or Kogoshuko, whatever it is. And...
Hirokosaki?
Yeah, there you go. And, but then they're like, oh, you actually had an American name. So they had the opportunity. The bad guy in the video game's name is Willie. So you could have given him Willie or William or something like that. So you go, oh, he's Willie. And then he's just given himself this new name. And you can kind of blow it off after that. You never have to mention it again, but at least you've made a proper reference to the movie or to the video game. And they just, no, my name's
that's bad for business. That is bad for, they crunch the numbers.
Yeah, my name's Ralph because fuck you. That's
Sticking to the source material is out. Making up random things from people who haven't even played a video game before.
He got like a punch in the nose and held back.
He's only got one half the medallion. Oh, look at the hijinks. Here we go.
I do
like where do they live? In the back of a theater loft? What is this?
Well, they are in a legitimate theater. They are living on the stage of a theater right now.
That makes sense.
Like the establishing shot was coming down from the audience and they're just up on the thing. But can I just make the point that this set is like the Ninja Turtles' home in the sewer? It's basically they got places to skateboard and they have everything but beds.
Why aren't they using this theater for shows?
Because
are they just
because there's nothing
here?
Well, my thought was that there's nothing going on in the evenings because of the purge. Constant purge going on, but you also can't do matinees because then the purge people will just come in and destroy this place, and then you won't have anything anyways. So they just decided to give up on everything. I would love to live in a theater.
Stove and everything.
I would treat this place very well. Like this place would be.
I would have done. Well, it looks like they're fixing it up, but I have a feeling they were fixing it up before they moved in.
Yeah.
And then everything went to shit.
Like, I feel this is Phantom of the Opera, like they're going to, like, take the cover off of the thing. I felt really bad, actually. I was going to take, it's my anniversary. Well, by the time this airs, my anniversary will have already passed. But it's my anniversary with my wife, and I was going to take her to Phantom of the Opera. And then I missed out on getting tickets. And then it was just all, like, scalper shit. And she didn't want to do that, and I didn't want to do that. It's because it's crazy money.
All right.
So... What?
Scalper, you wait till it's 10 minutes for the performance, and they'll send it to you for nothing.
Well, yeah, but I'm not...
Because they start freaking out that they're like...
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they got to at least make their money.
I got it down, man.
Well, you can do that, but I mean, like, I can't...
What is that on the back of his
That's difficult
head?
to do for a show. It's like a yin-yang, not a tattoo, but like...
Is that like
I put
shampoo?
See, I like that at least they got one competent guy, but it really just highlights how shitty he is.
Scott Wolf just is really not taking this seriously. I mean, Scott... that's 1,000 gumballs just came out of that thing.
He's Michelangelo to Ninja Turtles, Raphael and Leonardo.
Okay, I see where you're going, but even Michelangelo knows when to shut it down.
Yeah, Michelangelo has skill. Michelangelo is arguably the most skilled fighter of the four, like as far as using his weapons.
Yeah, and you're right. So he's so good. He's like Spider-Man. He can talk shit and do the job.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't like Scott Wolf. Oh my God! Did they lock his ponytail up?
Yeah, I actually kind of liked that move. Here's the problem, though, is then he leaves them. It's not a heavy case.
He's like, I can't move.
Like, that should have been like a giant trunk that was like full of stuff so he couldn't get up. But instead, it's just like a small briefcase where he could have stood up and go, ow, it's pulling my hair. Let's move on.
Did she just get that gray hair?
Yeah, she's going through it. She's playing her own version of Chun-Li right now.
And now it's gone.
I think it was just the lighting, man, to be honest with you.
You think? Okay.
Yeah, I think. This is not a well-lit... Like, look how loose that is.
Oh
I
my
do...
God.
I made the comment when we were talking about it originally, but it looks like he shops from the Steve Harvey collection.
Steve Harvey's an asshole.
I know. That actually really bummed me out when I heard
It did
that.
too. He's a real
I was
prick
like,
too,
'cause
apparently.
he seems like of all of them, he'd be the nicest guy, and then he has the like, don't make eye contact with me in the
Yeah, you read the same
hallways,
thing
that-
too, yeah.
Like that
He's a
really,
real. Apparently, he's really awful to like his wife and family and stuff.
Yeah,
And he
well.
came out with this book that was, oh my god,
the shadow
oh
thing
my
is
god,
so
who knows
bothersome.
what even lurks in the hearts of men? Oh god.
Well done, thank you. Okay, so here's
This
our
does look
first.
like it was kind of a nice theater, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, blow the fucking
This
doors off this place.
Is the worst character design I've ever seen in my life. So
It's
this
like
is
some of the guys that I go to the gym with. Is it okay to repeat jokes from the interview?
well, I don't think we have a choice because we talked for so long about the thing. Like we exhausted every possible thought during the interview.
Yeah,
no,
it looks
it's-
like some of the guys at the gym. Although this
Yeah.
guy clearly does more leg workouts than the guys at the gym do. They're all like upper
Oh.
body.
But like, why didn't they just do enhanced versions of real muscles instead of these like Popeye legs that he's got, and like, or just rip off the character, like the emotions and all that. So the guy is being played by Niels Allen Stewart. He's the thug usually in things like The Shadow, The Mask, Barbed Wire. He actually played probably his only leading role. He played Jesse Ventura in a TV movie about Jesse Ventura.
I've seen him in something else too.
mhm.
I recognize him.
He was in Space Cowboys, and then he was the stunt coordinator for the Spike TV show The Deadliest Warrior.
Huh.
So I mean, he's done
Some
stuff.
credits.
But yeah,
This man is just terrorizing them into a loss. I like a bad guy who literally for the first 5 minutes of the fight just yells and growls at you.
Yeah.
See, look, there is grainer hair suddenly again.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the lighting
Oh
removed. I don't
my
know.
god, this movie is a fucking train wreck.
Look at those legs. They look like an old woman's legs.
You know
Little
what?
varicose vein.
He looks like that Nogababa no Jabba. He looks like him,
Oh.
only way later in his life, and he's all overweight. Jabba's dead. He's still alive. No work.
Yeah,
What's that guy's name?
he went to
You know, he's got the
yeah,
white. No Jabba Baba.
shit.
He's like
I
the guy
know
who
him.
leads you into Jabba's
Yeah.
chamber.
Yeah, no,
whenever
I
he's
know
got
who
that
you're
big
talking
tentacle.
about. He's the Twi'lek. He's fuck, I can't remember his.
Oh, buddy, you don't even like Star Wars, clearly.
Yeah, clearly. I'll remember it after when it doesn't matter anymore.
But you still have
But-
his race.
What's that?
What did you say his race was?
Yeah, he was a Twi'lek.
a Twi'lek. You're a fucking Twi'lek.
No, I'm not. I'm a man with feelings.
She does have a little gray in there.
Yeah, I don't know
Your
what it
goddamn
is.
lighting theories. Literally, she's like, lock me up.
Oh man, I just love
Why did they look gray?
anybody who hasn't
Oh, fuck.
seen Mark Dacascos as the chairman in Iron Chef America. Go ahead
She's
and
shitting demon out.
yeah, we'll see how that happens. It's just like in Friday the 13th. What was it? The last one there.
Jason Goes to Hell.
Jason Goes to Hell.
Well,
yeah.
the last
Well,
good one.
yeah.
The real last one.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at this trickster.
But yeah, anyways, anybody who hasn't seen him in Iron Chef America, it just came back, so go ahead.
And he's
watch
in it
that.
again.
Yeah, he's back as the chairman.
I wonder what he's throwing down for that. Oh.
Well, they probably shoot it over a short period of time. They probably shoot it over the course of like a month or two, right?
It's
all
like the
episodes.
foamiest gasoline I've ever seen.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they just
It's
they
their
just
old
washed.
laundry tub.
I was gonna say maybe they just washed out those things first, so there's a little bit of soap residue in there, and they're like, oh well, we can't use this on cars. They're like, let's use it to burn down a theater. I do want to point out, they do bring it up later, but I'm gonna point it out now. Those
You
two
better get her out of
Asian
that
thugs'
thing.
names are Huey and Lewis.
Huey and Lewis.
So that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye.
How come he can do all this shit with his necklace, but Buddy can't do fuck all with his?
Because they each have different like each part has different powers, and like his protects his body, whereas that one kind of gives him those abilities. Like it's
What, the ability to be an asshole during a fight scene and not get killed?
Yeah, pretty much.
Give noogies out and shit?
Yeah. Yeah,
Jesus
the ability
Christ.
to recognize that somebody might slip on gum.
Yeah, right?
Hey, gum! And why do they have a giant gumball machine?
It
Or,
was
like,
there.
Are they restocking it themselves? Because you assume that this place has been abandoned since the beginning of this purge.
Well,
This
when
is
you
actually
saw
kind
when
of
it
a dark
knocked
moment.
over, when it knocked over, there was like 1,000 gumballs in there. So it's probably, oh Jesus, he came back just to to use the bathroom. He's like, I need to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, I'm back. So anticlimactic.
See,
I have to go to the bathroom.
And I hate a movie where the main bad guy is a fighter but not a fighter at all.
What
Like
do you
he's
mean?
he's not like a martial artist in any way, shape, or form. But he's like, if I get the double dragon, then I have all power and do all this. But like realistically, if they just fought him person to person, anybody would be able to kick his ass. He's just got that.
He's got the necklace.
Yeah, he's just got the necklace.
Well, that's like always, like, I always, in my action movies or movies, I want them to fight. Like, I hate to use it as an example, but like that one Fast and the Furious movie, with the first one with Jason Statham.
Oh,
they run into him
yeah.
multiple times. They fight him throughout the movie.
Yeah.
I hate when they just fight him once at the end.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that.
There's two different. I don't like. There's two different types of bad guys. There's
the main guy, and he has this number two who you fight at the end. And the main guy's a wimp, so you just kill him really easy.
You either kill him or you just take him into custody because he's a coward. Or whatever.
Exactly.
The only time I feel like they get away with that is in a movie that I also hated was Street Fighter, which you don't see Bison and Guile throw down till the end, and it's not even that good a fight at that. But he was like a guy who's like, he's a man of, but he's like, I'm a man of honor. We have to fight, because he was like he was gonna get away. Like when he thought he was dead, he was like, I'm sad that he's dead. I wanted to fight him. Right. Like it was like that kind of, and it's like, oh, okay, you're kind of cool. The only problem is then they had to sell the fight that couldn't happen because a guy with severe pancreatic cancer who couldn't put together a fight, but when he was healthy, now has to fight a friggin' martial art.
Did he have pancreatic cancer making the movie?
What's that?
Did he have cancer when he was making the movie?
My understanding was that he was in the early stages of cancer. The early stages of stage 4 cancer when he started making this movie. Yeah.
So this all roller coaster.
Oh, we're in Ready Player One.
Oh my God! Look at the helmet, eh?
Look at again. Like we're back in Tron. Like. Why is he? I hate.
Because her father hates short hair on a girl or something, or what's the deal? Why does she wear the wig when her dad's around?
No, because her dad's a cop, and probably has her description as one of the thugs. So, and it's like it's a girl with short blonde hair, and there's not a lot of them, even in the '90s. It's like unless you're taking in like the. What's the name of the band?
Oh my God!
Oh, it's Roxette.
There he is.
Yeah. There's a dude from the Hills
This
Have
guy's
Eyes.
fucking awesome. And he was in The Golden Child. I want to hug this man.
I don't.
He's dead.
I love
this guy's awesome.
I love his horrible.
Is that Fender? It is.
I honestly, he looks like
I think that's Fender.
He looks a lot like him. I don't know.
No
to be honest
way.
With you.
I think I just spotted somebody from Cyborg starring Van Damme.
Oh, that's crazy if that's true. We'll have
I'm going to look that up later.
We'll look into that, yeah. That's crazy.
Look at this, eh? Looks like that AC/DC video. Whatever it is.
Yeah, for sure. But,
what's with all the, like, spider web things hanging around?
This is what everything is like.
Fuck, like, what's the goop?
Again.
Is this the old king who was turned into snot? Oh, no, sorry, that's Mario. Like, what the fuck? I feel like, remember he said that it felt like it was the same set from Conquest? I think they used the sets from Mortal Kombat Conquest and the sets from Mario.
Well,
this is probably Beyond the Thunderdome.
Yeah. Well, here's another problem, too. He just introduced himself to all these people. His name's on the fucking cereal. like people
they don't know, right?
People wouldn't know who he is. This is such a... He's choking his shadow, which counts. I don't know. That one guy, the bald guy there, looked like a bald Breckin Meyer.
Oh my God! It's shadow.
It's such
shadow murder. It's like the Force almost, or something.
And I just don't understand for the life. Like all the different types of gangs.
So if you punch my shadow in the face, I'll feel it.
Apparently so. Well, it's kind of like Peter Pan chasing his shadow. There's a lot of Peter Pan in this. You got the two boys who don't have parents and are being taken care of by somebody who only seems like a little bit older than them. And then
there is actually a lot. That was really good, actually.
Thank you. Those guys were wearing Mario gloves.
There's also like that.
Like there's
video.
mime. What is it like? But why do they feel like these movies have to be like this? We have to be the mime army. We have to be the.
You need like different sections, right?
Mm-hmm. Like. It just drives me
somebody
bananas.
just turned down the vents. What is happening here? What is supposed to happen here?
I have
a fight, a comedy show? Like, what the fuck?
yeah.
Like,
I think it's just where they get together and plan the next day's purge. Like they're
Oh.
just like, oh, we gotta.
what are we gonna do tomorrow? Purge? I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna purge.
Exactly.
Same thing we always do. Try to take over the world.
Purge.
The Pinky and Kogoshu.
Oh, who's this?
I don't know. We got somebody.
Oh, it's that big fucker.
Dig him out.
It's that big penis.
Urgh. But like,
That big
just
penis
I
guy.
can't. Again, I just can't wrap my head around.
Can't even
design-
stand up.
The
so
idea
muscular.
of designing this character. And they're so nice to him too. It was like, did you not see him? Oh no, I guess they didn't see him. He wasn't there. So this is the beginnings of their.
Oh, here we go. Look. This is lost love.
But it's not
this is
love.
it
It's
right
essentially
here.
their mom.
Oh,
I feel like here's what I think happened. I feel like she was hired to babysit them because she was like 3 years older than them, and then their parents were murdered, and she just had to take them on.
Take on me.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, good God.
Look at that motel in the background there. It does really look like L.A. Escape from L.A.
Yeah, we're just cut off from the rest of the world.
Oh,
Because...
he's down. He's feeling down right now.
I feel like the director came to them and they're like, this is how you have to feel. And he's like, I don't understand how to feel that. They're like, you were literally in Party of Five where your parents died.
Yeah.
You can't figure out how to feel about this?
Dude, what's my motivation?
Like, he just like,
Whoa.
yeah. And then he's sitting there, he's got a lunchbox. He's like, but there's no food in there, and I'm the chairman.
Chairman
like-
of the board. That's
No,
what we should
chair-
watch. Chairman of the board.
Not in your fucking life. I would sooner get kicked in the dick for an hour by Carrot
Kicked in
Top.
the dick for
while
the
he
running
did a
length of chairman of the board.
Yeah, oh, Jesus Christ.
So 54 minutes.
Oh my God.
Actually getting off easily.
All right, well, we talked to B.J. Mendelson about this exact scene, and so we should go to that now so you can just hear a brief bit of that.
So they have their mentor character, who is completely poorly written and is just there to dump exposition. She dies, right? So she dies, and you get one scene in the whole film where they have to act like serious for maybe 30 seconds.
Oh, this scene blew me away.
Yeah, and then that scene ends with them high-fiving and then palling around and be like, yeah, let's go kick some ass. I'm like, your mom was just murdered in a fire.
Well, but you also get the get over it. Like, that was basically, like, it literally just happened, and you're like, oh, come on, get over it. Like, grow up. And I'm like, what?
Isn't that how grieving works, guys? Like, come on.
So, I mean, like, I give it to BJ for the amount of thought. Like, even though this is the kind of thing where he just wanted to see how people would kind of react to him pitching this to people, he put so much thought into this movie that was just like, blew me. Oh, there's Tower Records in the
I
background.
love that they just pulled that out of the water and used it as fuel to light the garbage can up.
Well, you know how it is, right? I actually
It's like
do kind of like
Detroit.
that. Yeah, Flint.
Yeah.
People are drinking that water, though. That's a serious fucking thing, guys. Get on that. Fix it.
Look at the finger puffs here.
Well, this is that mime group. You notice that
How's
white
that guy
paint did not
wipe
do.
his ass?
Oh, he just
uses
just
his
the
finger
whole thing.
puff. It's probably perfectly anus shaped.
See, now the gangs have gotten together.
Oh Jesus!
Look
at that guy. They ran out of clown makeup for that dude.
Yeah, this
they
is
slapped
just
an old hat on him.
Look, this is literally just every single gang member from every movie ever. They're like, oh, get a couple of the Warriors.
This guy.
Get a couple of that's an American. Just
somebody from Street Fighter.
I feel like he's like somebody's dad. You know, he's a bunch of watches, so he's all set.
Is that supposed to be like, yeah, I got 50, my whole leg's made of watches.
Don't you understand? I commit crimes. These watches are proof.
They tell me when to commit crimes.
The costume, there's a guy from friggin' Fame.
Look at that sweet kung fu move.
Like, literally, I genuinely believe when he stomped on that, you could tell that thing didn't go up hardly at all. And then
I don't think it went anywhere.
No, like it moved a bit.
Oh, there's the Amish schoolboy. There's Rick James.
I genuinely believe that they just went into the wardrobe department of whatever studio they were shooting at, and they were just like, just grab whatever's there. We got 50 people.
As long as it doesn't
costumes.
match.
Yes. Yeah. We want them to be.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa!
I don't understand the point. Like, he could have just hopped down. It would have been, more... Again, he's fucking Curly from the Three Stooges.
Isn't he supposed to know Kung Fu?
Well, I think we generalize
there
with
you
kung
go.
fu, but a martial art of some sort, yes.
Fighting skill?
Yeah.
That guy wasn't even paying attention. That one guy was just partying on top of a car.
Yeah, well.
A lot of them aren't into this at all.
Well, they probably have numbers. They're like, okay, we're gonna get him first. Like we got first dibs on him, and if you don't, this looks like Hamilton. What the fuck was that?
Was that me? What the fuck was
I
that?
have no idea.
Was that?
I heard that, but I don't know what that
Poindexter.
was.
That guy was from ye old town.
Oh,
That's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
They went. Here's a
The fucking mailman.
What?
Well, the mailman would be a gang at this point.
And
See, again,
what was he even this? You know why I think BJ liked this movie so much? Because there's nothing like a movie that treats you like you're a complete fucking idiot. I love it. I did the same thing with Power Rangers. I watch Power Rangers religiously every day, and every moment I fucking hate it.
Yeah, let's point out that's not a dig. That's not a dig on BJ, but there's something guilty pleasure.
That's what
about
I mean.
that.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's like this. What the fuck? Like, why they keep treating me like a fucking idiot, and I just keep coming back
because it's so easy. It's such an easy watch. Is the problem? See, but. Like it's just a lot.
I'm telling you, BJ didn't like this movie.
No,
he's just hung up on how awful this thing is.
Yeah. Look at how easily they're kicking through that. Like that wasn't
like particle
even
board. Well, thank God that super clean, excellent motorcycle is still there.
What is it made of? It looks like it's a battle bot.
Look, it's
speaking of which, as we record today, BattleBots is on Discovery Channel tonight.
Oh my God,
it's back.
Oh, we did put it up. Discovery Shark Week.
Yeah.
That's 2 Discovery. You owe us.
Shaq's hosting Shark Week this time, and he's like, I thought they said Shaq Week.
Oh,
that was the whole joke, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, at least you put a little thought.
Well, they do pretty well.
Shark Week's always
I love
huge.
Shark Week.
We're doing a car week on it's History Channel.
Except for them fake fucking ones that they do.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you know what I mean? Where it's like they pretend like it's all real, and then like in the end, we're like, we just fucked with you for an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, those shows are supposed to be like educational.
Fuck.
Oh, hey, they didn't look for the possibility of a boat in that boathouse like right off the jump.
I would have taken the motorcycle. Oh, look at that little thing. It's got a nice little motor on her.
Yeah. It looks like they just got they got a jet ski and then just put a boat like chassis around it.
And I love that they turned this kung fu video game, this fighting smash 'em up, into just like this zany adventure.
Yep. Again,
barely any kung fu, and now there's a boat chase.
See, this is the whole movie making by committee. So they find out people are making video game movies. So this company wants. What is it with the Hollywood sign thing? Nothing makes me angry.
Flooded?
Yeah,
because the earthquake. Oh,
yeah, it was a giant flood. Like we see that, but I just like what a shitty trope. And Escape from LA did it too. It was the Hollywood signs.
Yeah,
it's always the
but
same
they
bullshit.
did that back in the 70s for Escape from New York.
And Demolition Man did it too.
Yeah,
everybody fucking does that same.
We have to know where we are here.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But sorry, what were we talking about?
Look at
what were we yelling about this movie? Oh no,
Why aren't they shooting? There's clearly big guns. Oh, there's Man's Chinese Theater.
Like this is basically where Roland Emmerich got his ideas. They're like, oh, if we show destroyed landmarks, that's box office. But then he didn't see what the box office was.
When he fell asleep during this movie,
yeah,
his whole career came to him.
Yeah.
Hey. I thought that was going to be somebody.
I felt like that was Al Franken.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, actually.
He's squeezing an ass.
Oh, now he's going to put it down.
There we go.
He's tracking him now.
So they're making video game movies, and they're like, okay, we can adapt this. And then they just gave it to somebody who never played the game, never understood anything about it. And then they were just like, okay, so what are the kids doing nowadays? It's like they love punks, and they love gangs. And
mismatched clothes.
Yeah, and chases.
Different colored socks.
So they basically, like Caddyshack, they just put a bunch of disjointed scenes together, and then they just glued it with like the slightest.
Is Caddyshack your most hated movie?
I don't hate Caddyshack. I just realized after a very long time that it wasn't as funny as I remembered it being. Like I remember like watching it as a younger person, thinking it was like the funniest movie because you had all these like comedy geniuses in it and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, that's awesome. But then when you watch it now, it's like watching it with a real discerning eye, you're like, it's just a bunch of disjointed thoughts that aren't a movie.
Pretty much.
Like I can cut the whole movie down. I can create a plotted movie out of this stuff, but it's all not even. I was like, it's probably about 30 minutes, and Bill Murray wouldn't be in it, and like
He's terrible in it,
Yeah, like,
anyways.
but it's just
Ugh.
like, but again, it was just a bunch
You're
of
right.
people
That
who
movie
were.
sucks so bad.
It was just a bunch of people who were on drugs who made a movie. And that's kind of what this is. They're like, oh, we're going to put together all these weird little set pieces because that's what the kids like, and then we're going to and then it's going to all be great. But the problem is nobody like saw the forest for the trees.
Okay, so in this chase scene right here,
Mm-hmm.
he's about 4 feet from them.
Yeah.
And he puts his visor down and clicks the machine to tracking.
Yeah.
Like you can see them.
Yeah.
What are you tracking?
I don't know. Maybe it's just the automation for the bullets.
And then it shot about 500 feet above them and reached the shore. Like, can you really use like a thing? You know what I mean? In a boat. Like, if you have something that's gonna lock on, you have to be like not moving.
Well, that's not true.
Or
Watch
not
Top
moving
Gun.
like that.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, yeah, with it. Oh, Top Gun 2's coming out.
I know. They just started shooting that. I feel like
Danger
this is
Zone.
Brad Bird. And Val Kilmer's confirmed.
Val
returning as
Kilmer
Iceman.
and Kenny Loggins wants to do a new version of Danger Zone.
Well, he should.
He totally should.
I was gonna say if he doesn't, somebody should. Like,
Disturbed.
or get Kenny Loggins to do an original thing and let somebody else like remake Danger Zone.
You can't. He's probably been like, if they ever make a sequel to Top Gun, I'll change Danger Zone like this. He's probably been waiting forever.
Mm-hmm.
You can't shut him down now.
Can we point out that the name of this city is called New Angeles?
New Angeles?
But isn't that just like, I don't know, isn't that just like a weird thing? Like, why do they always do that? Like, Demolition Man did San Angeles.
Yeah.
And that was, but again, they were at least bringing places together. This is just like, well, Los Angeles has been destroyed. Let's call it New Angeles. Let's just give it a different name.
Nangeles.
I love.
Holy Jesus! Juicy
See?
reaction.
There.
What's with their outfits?
Did you hear that line? Huey Lewis, any news? Fuck you,
my
world.
God.
Fuck all of you. Their outfits, when they're working during the day, not doing crimes, they're dealers at the casino. So that's why one of their best karate moves is do like the clap the hands and then show both sides of the hands. Oh, I almost made Todd spit up out of his nose.
Oh yeah,
That's the goal.
Do you think they took this movie seriously? Like when
No.
they were there, do you think they were really like, but when they said cut, like, and is that like just like to the director? Like, if you're like, Jesus, what are we doing here? Do you think everybody on set was kind of like, oh my God?
Usually, you find that. Actually, I just watched The Disaster Artist recently, and they kind of speak to this a little bit.
Right.
With the cast talking together, knowing that it's a piece of shit, but keeping it to themselves.
Right.
Like, we know what we're doing. Let's just have fun. And there was some like the older woman, and it's like,
How is
hey,
it?
we're amazing.
Good movie.
It's
I want to see it too.
amazing.
I think it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix now, and I've got it on Blu-ray. And
That's the
it's
one
just
about
like,
Buddy Wiseau.
Wiseau. It's
Yeah.
and they show you a thing at the end. They actually show you the side by side of the scene that they shot originally, like in the room, and then the recreated scene that
What
they
are
did
you
for the
saying
room.
that Buddy should have been up for an Oscar for it?
Well, it was the sexual shit that got him snubbed out because
he's kind of a creeper or something, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, and there weren't a lot of details about that though. It was like it kind of like came and gone just in time for him to not be nominated for
Pretty
the
much.
Oscar, and then it just went away.
And
So
Seth Rogen said that he would stick by him.
Yeah.
He's like, we're friends. He's like, you don't dump your friends because
Yeah.
of whatever, right? Like he's gonna we'll work this out together. And
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool. That's good old Canadian boy though. That's why.
Yeah. Well, and it's also accepting the fact that I'm not just blindly defending him, but I'm saying that in the end we're going to BJ hates the scene. He talks about it later. That, like he just
This is how I eat at the buffet. I don't like to go walk all the way over.
Yeah.
And waste my food eating energy. So
Mhm.
Joe just brings over. He kind of stomps on it in a pail first, like he's making grape juice, and then he just shovels it in.
Hell yeah.
And when did they become buddies with this guy? Because they had to help him up.
They didn't.
Like,
They
happened?
they just discovered him, and then I don't know.
He seems all right to me.
They have.
Oh, he's all tied up still, but they're being
Yeah.
nice to him.
Yeah. Well, see, they are.
She's force feeding him like torture. At
Yeah.
least they give him a bib so he didn't get shit all over himself.
But how does she think bodies work? Because he's all muscled, and it's like, well, if I just feed him spinach constantly through a funnel, he will lose the muscle. Like, what is?
No, she's just trying to fill him up on spinach.
Well, and his body's also just destroyed. He can't lose that weight. He would just die.
The poor guy. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, I know.
He's like a oh, see, now look what you did. Alyssa Milano, he's shitting himself.
See, I guarantee you that shot was done in a reshoot or something. She had no part in thinking that there were farts and stuff. They're like, this scene falls kind of flat, so we're gonna bring you back. We're gonna sit you in the chair and just act like you're just like going through it, you know? And he's just going,
Like you're going through
because
it.
there's no two shot.
What the fuck does that
like you're just on the toilet and you're just experiencing the death. But like
you're just going through it.
But no, but like there's no two shot where it would be apparent to her that they were just throwing in fart noises. Like when you see the two of them, he's just feeding her and they're throwing in fart noises. And she doesn't even really react to them. So like I don't think she's even aware it's happening. But then they get that close up shot where it looks like he's shitting himself and she's nowhere to be found. And then they just go to another shot where she also isn't reacting to it and she just walks away. So I guarantee you, if we were to ask her, she does not know. She did not know that farting was going on.
You don't think so?
No, I guarantee you. She did not know, and she was probably watching this, and she'll probably tell you she was humiliated to be in that scene.
Amazing.
Why would they, if they're trying to keep
it the best thing she's ever done?
Look, it's all of there. It's this is when Snow was at his most popular.
Yeah.
So everybody was in their Informer clothes.
What the fuck? That's totally inform me, bro.
Yeah. Look at these little 9-year-old white boys with dashikis on. And that one Indian kid.
They just accidentally found, like, the resistance.
Yeah. Somehow this movie still is more diverse than any episode of Friends.
Oh my god, yes.
Look at, what the hell is that camera? Why does it have all the lenses? I know that is how old cameras
She's got, like,
exist.
jeans, shorts.
Yeah.
And then stockings? Or, like, burlesque?
It makes her look like she's got a gunt, though. I still
like a gun.
Yeah.
Oh, I love a good gun.
I exclusively like guns.
Guns.com.
Yeah.
Gunsformonths.com.
Man, it's just like, again, this is, and now we talk about all the sets, and we talked about their place being like Ninja Turtles. This is just the Shiny Foot Clan place. You mentioned that when we talked about it the first time.
Yeah, just like it was like, Jesus Christ. There's a definite theme happening here in all these damn movies, man.
And again, it's like literally, and this came out, 3 years after Ninja Turtles. And I feel like this and Mario both took stylistic ideas from it.
God,
except that Mario had to go even further. Well, not into the future, but into like a new dimension. So they made it futuristic just to discern
or whatever,
just to give the different. Yeah, exactly. But they were like, well, the kids loved this, so we'll just do the exact same thing.
The kids,
even though we don't have a story ready or anything like that.
Yeah, we'll make it up over there.
Like, give it up for the Ninja Turtles though, but they made an effort to put together a story.
That movie's awesome.
I love
the first Ninja Turtles is awesome.
Yeah, it does hold up.
Plus, they're really there.
Yeah, well,
they're really have masks on, right?
Yeah.
So like, it's not going to be like you watch the Ninja Turtle ones.
That laugh made me want to fucking kill myself before she just did the like the little like.
Oh yeah, like having an anime.
Yeah, I feel like she wasn't able to actually.
It's totally what it was. So she put her hand over her face.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not.
That was actually her reaction to the fart.
Yeah.
It's just way delayed.
Yeah, exactly. I like that.
Is this her comeback? Because I know she's kind of back. She was in Charmed.
Oh, it's an oxygen thing.
She's
I thought
been
it was
doing
a
like it's OxyContin. Gas.
It just does say oxy there.
Exactly.
Nice.
They're getting loaded.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like in
it's the
Spaceballs.
Shuko logo that's on the back of his head. I get it. Is that a Ferris wheel?
It looks like the CN Tower mixed with like some other building.
Mm-hmm. This looks like Eaton Center in Toronto.
Probably is.
Yeah, it very well could be.
Before they changed.
Do you know how stupid it is that I love those fountains?
I do too. I was just saying, I take the fountain. It's like hypnotic or something.
Look at the magic of the dancing waters, but it's just like.
I have to go to. I want to get to Wonderland and be there at the end because they have the whole, the things on the mountain and the water's doing all that, and it's the music and.
Well, people who don't know Canada's Wonderland, it's kind of like the big theme park in our parts. But Todd and I, one day, we're gonna go up there together this summer, and we're going to document it, and we'll probably put a video together.
Oh, that'd be wicked! Like you're gonna watch me, Ralph. You can do the rides.
I'll do. Yeah, I can't do them so close together.
I can't either.
Look at they're constantly
my
like.
Lord.
Can you see my labia through my jeans?
Can you like now what the bummer is that even now that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. I was like, that must be. Remember, could you imagine being her and watching this movie afterwards, being like, oh my god, like.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's
blatant like ass shots and I mean this is what I want to see, but
thank God that
Jesus,
they're there.
right? Like
Yeah.
we're not gonna get this anymore.
No.
What a bummer. Take it in, people.
Yeah, but these movies still exist. If you're that desperate for them, you can come back and rewatch these whenever you want. There are tons of every movie was just men.
Well, every
just,
movie from about
2000
2000 and down was pretty much
objectify women.
Yeah, kill an animal while doing it.
Make every black person be in a minstrel show.
Yeah,
it's just all racism and sexism and whatever, because that's what the people pay to see. So I think it's high time and totally okay.
Oh yeah,
that
you
they well, and no, and I wasn't suggesting that your opinion was that fuck them, just keep objectifying.
Right.
But I'm just saying that what, if there is a place for this. Not because of what it is, but because these movies are in our memories and stuff like that. And it's I can go watch
Sadly,
these.
Yes,
and you
this
also,
movie is in my memories.
And you also do have people are yeah, I like boobs. I like looking at boobs and stuff. You're allowed to. That's fine.
I mean,
That's
I'm sure that you would see you haven't seen a movie with boobs in it the longest time.
You say that a lot, but then we do these shows and most of them have boobs.
No, these. I mean now. You don't watch movies now. There's not even sex scenes anymore.
No, because there was never a point for the original ones.
Oh, I know. It's just a pointless sex scene out of nowhere, right?
Actually, great sex scene in
Disaster Artist. What's it called?
What?
That's 50 Shades of Sex.
Yeah.
That had a lot of sex scenes.
50 Shades of fucking.
Fucking and sucking.
That'd be amazing if they just named something fucking and sucking. Oh, he's fishing.
Probably did.
Fucking and sucking, the David Blaine story. It's just, but it's got nothing to do with any of his magical career.
Magic.
It's just
he slept his way to the top.
It's just his involvement with the Pussy Posse, and then it stops.
The Pussy Posse. Once I begged David Copperfield at the end.
When do we get a Pussy Posse movie?
Who the hell's the Pussy Posse?
We've talked about we talked about this. It's Leonardo DiCaprio and his group of friends. Leonardo DiCaprio, E from Entourage, Lucas Haas, David Blaine, and there was Tobey Maguire. Just a bunch of fucking a bunch of people who played extras in movies that we've done so far.
Yeah, and Leo.
Who
Is anybody noticing this? The girl's looking right at it.
Yeah. Well, this could be magic. You don't know.
Oh, it's not Jingle. Look, she is watching.
She's legitimately watching. Oh, okay. What's the
because she's good.
Yeah.
She's got to be on the take. Come on.
No, I forgot you didn't see all of this.
I have not seen this movie in the longest time yet because we spoke about it for so long. I'm pretty positive I've seen it every day for my entire life.
Yeah. So her character is, like we talked about, is one of the very few characters that's from the video game. But it's kind of it was just a character name, it's Lash in the thing. There's a bunch of girls in it that have whips, and she's based on that. But they gave her a single personality instead of being 30 people.
Whoa, Jesus! Maybe she's not on the tape.
No, she's totally not on the tape.
Holy shit!
I actually kind of liked it. It looks dumb at the beginning because it's why is she not doing anything? But she's keeping it quiet specifically so she could do this. Oh, it must have felt nice to have.
Oh, my daughter!
Yeah. What are you doing on top of those two men, you little whore?
What's with that blonde hair? What are you, lesbian?
I still remember, I remember having a conversation with my father, and I just vaguely talked about shaving my head. I didn't shave my head for years later, but I talked about shaving my head, and then he literally just talked about, oh my God, he just tricked them like a fucking bullfighter. But when I talked about shaving my head, he's like, everybody's going to think you're a skinhead. His brain was in such a weird place. I even had there was a shirt, and it just had a handout, and it was out of my face or something like that. And he's like, oh, somebody's going to see that and punch you in the face. And go, you get out of my face. I'm like, no, Dad, that's not how
shirts so specific,
work. Right? That's not how people work. They're not taking what my shirt says as a personal attack
like that
on them or
then
a
they're going to punch you, and then when you're on the ground, they're going to say this to you.
But
and then you're going to say this, they're going to say this, then they're going to walk away. Then you're going to say this, then they're going to come back in a car with a gun.
Sorry, did you write this? Yeah, but it would come.
It's what? Oh, she's smothered and covered, bro. She's hot as fuck in this movie.
She really is.
Well,
Jesus. All the girls are attractive in this movie. The
Oh!
whip work, you can tell it's
Ooh!
total stuntman. It's because every time you never see her face when she's working the whip, even
It's
just
behind.
the backswing of the whip.
Is this like some weird punk cowgirl thing that she's got going on with the? Oh my god, buddy. Yeah, they're dead, bro.
He just starts like manipulating her like 9-year-old tits.
She doesn't even know I'm doing this.
Yeah, I can fucking do whatever I want, guys.
That's good rap right there, man. What a waste of that good rap.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
it's
Freddy
Freddy.
Claw.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Shut up, lady.
So yeah, in the game,
she's got her work gloves on.
In the game, she's the character. Alyssa Milano's the character.
She's terrible in this movie.
But she's the one who's taken in the movie. So here's your second Abobo. He's actually closer to the look.
He is actually.
But he's just not big. He's a lanky, like they
He's
got
a
a
big,
basketball
tall guy.
player. He looks like Sean Bradley.
No, he looks like that one dude from the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I
Killer
don't
Croc?
know. Yeah, no, not Killer Croc. There's the fire-looking dude.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't care either.
Oh,
she's still wet.
he's
Pull
a
your
partner.
gun out, bro. Aren't you a cop?
Yeah.
The
You
fuck, like...
would assume. He did pull his cut. I think it got jarred
did she
loose
whip it
earlier,
away?
Yeah.
And what was she thinking there? Where did he go?
Who wins a fight with a whip?
You
That's the real
didn't
question.
see him run off, so where did he go? And she's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, man, I gotta get right up against this thing. Maybe he's...
This guy's last name is Tower. Just so we're all
Tower of Power?
No, just Tower.
No.
I would have said Tower of Power. Oh, the new
Triple kick.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but like she's not even like a fighter. There you go.
She's got better kicks than they do.
Oh my god. Well, no, he's like, let's not shit on Mark DeCascos. Like,
What the hell just happened
well,
there?
the body got crushed, but the possessing soul did not.
Ah.
Right. So if you lift that thing up, there's a disgusting mess underneath that.
Hamburger helper.
Well, apparently you can suck souls through fans, and the fan is so powerful that it sucks people out. Like,
What is the point of this fan?
Like in a spaceship, it's
Like
some
Total
kind of
Recall?
exhaust fan. I'm guessing it's an exhaust fan for whatever this chemical factory or whatever is supposed to be. But like, it wouldn't be so powerful that it would suck out human beings.
You're not around.
I think you would be though, wouldn't you?
You leave. You're not even supposed to be in this area. This is probably like the collecting chamber
Oh,
for
this
all
is
the crap.
like an emergency thing.
And they turned it into this room to turn them into Goombas. I mean, penisoids.
Penisoid.
Or,
Graboids.
Gonna be sorry if we don't give them a name.
Speaking of which, we'll talk about this more on another thing. But did you see the trailer for the
did.
Tremors TV show?
Yes, it
with
looked
Kevin
very
Bacon?
cheesy.
It does look very
It looked
cheesy,
like-
but the right kind of cheesy.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I didn't like the fact that it was like a CG for the dirt, like with the Tremor coming along.
Yeah.
I literally had that's funny you say, because I watched a two-banger of Tremors 3, and then, Tremors 2 and then Tremors 3. And even then, it was like really the earth moving.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is the... And it's Kevin Bacon, man. He's got nothing going on. So he's like, hey, let's do Tremors.
I wanted it to be him and Fred Ward again, to be honest. But, like, I was like, what's
Fred
Fred
Ward's
Ward?
not there.
I was like, what is it? Like, is he just above it? Like, he's just like, I'm retired now?
Fred Ward is probably really pissed because Fred Ward was in part 2 of Tremors.
Yeah, and he was
but
in
it's been Kevin Bacon had left, and now he's like, oh, fuck, I can't do these horrible movies, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do 5 and 6. That's Michael Gross's thing.
Yeah, that's
and then he's like, and then now he must be like, what the shit?
And Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah. Oh my God. You see Jamie Kennedy's movies? Like,
looks,
oh my God.
And this is me saying this, he looks like a slob. Like,
yeah, he does.
Like,
he does. Like, he just looks like a fucking mess.
Yeah, like, I feel like if I were an actor, I would like keep my shit together. Like, I wouldn't feel that need to be I have to be muscular and cut at all time, but I would like look presentable.
He looks like he's been up all night doing blow and getting like somebody like a gang like one of these gangs from Double Dragon ran a train on him. You know, you're just like, Jesus, Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah, it just doesn't give a shit.
He went downhill fast. You know what happened? It's that fucking ghost whisperer Titsy. What's her name? She sucked the life right out of him.
So you're saying that
Titsy
Jennifer
LaRue.
Love Hewitt is a succubus?
She succubus everything right out of the man.
Channel 69. Oh my God.
Channel 69.
Just so we all know
movie
that
was
this is a
made for
classic.
14-year-old boys.
Yeah. I feel like that was. I feel like that was just an Andy Dick joke. He was just like, and I had a dick joke, get it? But no,
I do now.
Woo! No, but I just like I see that and I'm just like, I picture that being something somebody pitched on set. going, this should be channel 69, or like he was doing, like, they're like, what channel is this? They're like, oh, we didn't give it a channel or anything like that. We're just a program, and like, they were not going to mention it. So he's like, here we are on channel 69, just as like a little improv line or something like that.
I will give this movie something. I do see a lot of
that's
racial diversity in it.
Yeah. Oh, look at that black guy doesn't want anything to do with it.
Nope, I wouldn't either. Smart move, bud. Smart move.
You're on the wrong side of history here, man. It seems like the one guy who's going to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, watching. He's like, you don't
give a
understand. He's
fuck.
going to make America great again. I can't even look at you.
Look at everybody staring at him.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I have to do is right.
Yeah. Don't you understand? He's going to ruin the G7.
Yeah, see, they got the pipes going all through there, eh? Is that a roll cage or is that the future?
I'm guessing it's a roll cage or protection from like people ramming into them. Even though there was a giant unprotected area on the side, which would be the most protection he would need.
Yeah.
You know.
Whoa.
Who's to say?
Whoa.
Look at his long cigarette. Like everything was such a decision in this movie. Like you couldn't just say, "Oh, this guy smokes." They're like, not only does he smoke, he smokes like old Hollywood starlet like cigarettes and stuff like that through like mega filters.
I love you, Jason Patrick, regardless of this movie and your choices in life.
I do, but he even says, BJ mentions in the full interview about how he has spoken fondly on doing this role, not the movie itself, but how the role was fun to do. And isn't that kind of the point? Shouldn't you be able to, like, I get doing art, and like, I'm an artist, I want to do art, blah, blah, blah. But, like, shouldn't you enjoy your job?
I feel like Robert De Niro started enjoying his job much later.
I agree.
Like when he started doing like Meet the Fockers and stuff, because never in a million years would you picture him doing something like that.
No.
And then now he's like...
I actually think Rocky and Bullwinkle put him over the edge.
Maybe it was, because then now he seems like he's having fun. Before he would only take like a really serious movie with, and then he's like, fuck, I'm getting old, might as well have some fun,
But why can't it be both? That's all I'm saying. Right? Okay. We're coming up on our next B.J. Mendelson interview. We have one of the weirder scenes in this movie is coming up, and we had to get into grave detail about this. But I don't understand what she sees in him. Just while we were talking,
he's gorgeous.
No, but he looks like, I don't know. Maybe if it's the way they're just doing his hair or something. He looks like such a doofus. She is a fucking goddess.
She's a minx.
And
She's a hot
I just
minx.
want to fucking destroy her and me and everybody. I don't know. They're about to kiss, but now we got to go and now we got this fight, so we got to go to BJ. We get to the end of the movie. We have the weird battle of it, and that was something I found too. Just getting to the end of the movie, it felt very. You had the beginning of the movie, then the end of the movie. Right. I didn't find really a middle of this movie.
Yeah, no, they go from one thing to another, high-fiving each other weirdly.
Yeah, because I was sitting there, and I'm honestly, because I was doing some little research on the side and stuff like that, and I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden it went from, okay, Satoru's dead. Like, to me, that's the end of Act 1, or should be the end of Act 1. And, like, only moments later, they're like, now it's time to take the fight. And then you're all of a sudden in Act 3. Like, Act 2 was a minute and a quarter. Like... but we get there, and Alyssa Milano has unleashed her Foot Clan.
Right. Yeah. Which has kids, and apparently they have weapons trading.
Yeah.
So I would really like to know what is going on there. Like, is she teaching these children how to sword fight to murder people, or is she teaching them to take back the streets? Like, what? I wish that there was that kind of moment where it's like, hey, this is what this group does, and this is why they're here. They just seem like a bunch of extras that pop up to fill space. Yeah, her intro is kind of just a reminder that her intentions are good. I'm probably because they were hoping nobody was going to question later on. I think they should have made it kind of a Lost Boys kind of thing where the kids didn't get into any hardcore violence. Like they were just like, kneeling behind the bad guys and pushing them over and things like that. Like keep it simple with them. That would have been a much better movie.
Yeah, but that's what we're doing right now. We're brainstorming, and I'll send this off to the studios, and hopefully we'll get another one going. I'll see you in Hollywood, my friend. But
dear Paul Dini, you remember that film you wrote 25 years ago?
Yeah,
he'll be like, "That's the only thing I think about. I'm on board."
Oh my God, I had so much fun doing this interview.
Okay, so we missed that line there.
Yeah, but we got to go right to this now.
Okay, go.
Abobo actually has more of a character arc than Alyssa Milano does. He actually has growth, where there's that scene where he's looking in the mirror and crying, which to me is probably what the screenwriters did.
That was a very Street Fighter moment to me, too. That reminded me very much of when Blanca is aware of himself for the first time.
Poor guy could not move.
I said that to Todd. I was like, we're looking at a guy. He even talks about being a big guy and having the strength of 10 men. And then they make him so not an effective human being. Like, he can barely walk.
Did you guys think, and I spoke with Joe about this, that big jacked up dude looks like the crazy jacked up dude where Ben Savage goes under his bed?
Fred Savage. And
Fred Savage.
Did you ever see the movie Little Monsters?
Yes.
Yeah, he's the main bad guy if, like, you change his color.
What's his name? The bad guy?
I don't know.
I really don't remember. It's been probably even longer since I've seen that from when I saw this.
That's going to drive me nuts now.
Okay, so we just missed the two weird lines for no reason. So she said earlier, now who's the boss? And then because Alyssa Milano's in Who's the Boss. And then Alyssa Milano said, generally I put people in the hospital. And that's because she's from General Hospital. And I was like, I don't know.
Oh my God.
This is, like, people would understand the idea.
Whoa, his own brother just kicked him through a window.
This is the rockers breaking up.
Oh my God. Yeah, through the friggin',
But the, just the whole idea of, like, I get people would understand she was in Who's the Boss because that's the right age group of people watching this.
Oh, the blonde-haired girl was in General Hospital?
The blonde hair's in General Hospital. So who among this viewing audience knew that? Other than maybe the odd parent who brought their kid to see this movie and was going, fucking kill me, fucking kill me, fucking kill me. And then was that the Redeemer? She's like, oh, they mentioned it. Oh, how pleasant. I'm gonna go fucking do acid.
How pleasant.
Boom.
Wow, what's his brother's problem all of a sudden?
Look at those extras there, the black guy.
It's like
and
they're
the Indian girl.
they're also shocked that the brother turned, even though they were just fighting them both.
Yeah, like, I can't believe this.
Boom. Did you see this coming? I didn't.
I couldn't tell there if that was a stuntman or if that was him doing the thing. I'm guessing it was a stuntman, but it was.
Oh, guy's laying on a big mat.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good body. I'm not gonna lie. There's nothing I hate more. Oh, Double Dragon in the background.
Double Dragon, the video game. Just the old chain hanger.
I legitimately love playing that game.
We
should do, as a video thing, we should do our retro gaming and we'll play Double Dragon and we'll talk about our experiences with this movie.
That's a good idea. Okay, you're wrecking the whole arcade, man.
But nothing bothers me more than this overdub of, like, oh, I've been possessed by a person and now I have their voice. It's such a boring decision to make. It's just like, ugh.
Maybe you should have learned how to fight Kung Fu, actually.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Like,
well,
even with the necklace, he can't beat him.
No, yeah, exactly.
He's not even wearing his necklace now.
Well,
he's just his brother.
But here's the thing. He was wearing the necklace when he turned into...
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he was wearing the necklace when he turned into the, like, the spirit, and then the spirit entered him, so is the necklace in him?
I don't know.
I don't
Stick it up your ass or something?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah, that love.
Should have a slide whistle there.
A good backward
in reverse.
I gotta give it up, though, because, like Mark Dacascos, I mean, nobody's really great in this movie, but I think that he puts forth the best acting effort in this movie. See, like,
and that big penis monster.
He's goofy. I like that.
Did you see him crying in the mirror before?
Yes.
What a scene.
That's true. You're right. But I like this. It's the power of the body. Like, it's just like, even those lines, I'm like, if anybody should have been the best in this movie, it should have been Scott Wolf.
Well, you know, the guy that, you know, in the soap opera. Like, what has he done after Party of Five, really?
Not much. But
not even
he's actually, no, he does actually have a bit of stuff going on. He was in, let me find my things here. I don't have it anymore. But he was in other things, so we'll just have to accept.
Just believe him. He was in some stuff.
Believe me, guys.
Look. Oh, yeah, he's like, I'm going to kill your brother. This is so Alyssa Milano.
Well, because she's the... Again, 14-year-old... I know what you did. 14-year-old boys watching this movie. That's why they showed Alyssa Milano.
Well, they need more.
Yeah.
Oh
But
my God, there's Poindexter over
But
there.
we talk about it. Actually, it makes me think about this too. Scott Wolf was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which we remember. We pointed it out during the thing. Him and Skeet Ulrich are together. They're like two
Oh,
of the
that's
Foot Clan
right.
guys.
Yes, yeah.
He was
So
also.
he knows the environment here well.
Mm-hmm. And he was in a bunch of episodes of Saved by the Bell. He was a waiter at the Max. Then he was in Party 5, and then basically White Squall and Go were his only other real.
Oh, Go was a good
big
movie. I like
things.
Go.
But I mean, he wasn't a major thing. And then Mark Dacascos, he's kind of all over the place. He was in Island of Dr. Moreau, which is a fucking nightmare. Not his fault.
Yeah.
He was in the Crow Stairway to Heaven TV show. He played Kung Lao in the Mortal Kombat series, which we talked about. He's been in Hawaii Five-0. He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's actually in John Wick Chapter 3 coming out.
Oh, sweet.
So I don't know what he's playing in that or how big of a role.
Oh, that's
it
gonna be
is,
awesome. I like those John Wick movies.
Yeah, the John Wick movie. I think they found out how to do action movies again. Like, we had a long time where they didn't make action movies like they used to.
Right.
And they still don't make them like they used to. Huh? High five?
That's my fucking line.
I
Put
know.
your goddamn hands down.
Sorry about that. Sorry, sir. And then, he's got all the
Whoa!
power now.
Sucked
And apparently
it all in. There
that
was your
takes in
TV
electricity too, yeah. No, but but like they've kind of found a new way to do all this again. Like the later Fast and Furious movies are a testament to that.
The Raid.
The
Raid?
Yeah, oh absolutely,
Holy
it's amazing.
shit.
And the Raid Redemption.
The Raid
and,
2.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, man.
And then the double.
What a movie. Oh my God, it's that demon from The Haunting.
There you go.
The Haunting Hour.
Oh, two of them.
There
you go. I don't really understand what the point of this was. Like, are these the original
I
double
don't understand the
dragons,
point of this. You should have said that at the very beginning.
Oh yeah, you're
I
right.
don't understand the point of this. Done.
Yeah.
Like, end of statement. We could have just shut her down right there.
No doubt. It makes me sad.
Oh yeah, they're going through it here, all right.
They're
I love that.
going through.
Yeah, they're going
Is that the
through
title
it
of
all
this
right here.
episode?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This guy.
Hopefully
got war.
Hopefully that's not a review of how we did in this episode. Well, they were going through it, I guess.
They're going through it, all right. Oh, she's like, oh,
The
Jesus, he
generator.
got out. I didn't give him enough spinach.
He's still farting. Like, they just kept adding fart. That would have been the best if he's crying in his thing and you heard. Like, they just didn't. They told the guy who was doing the sound design. They were like, you just have to add farts to him, and they didn't realize they meant just to that scene. So even his serious scenes, there's just the entire time he's there. Every time he steps.
We should add farts to famous serious monologues and see if they hold up.
Oh my God! The answer is no.
We got a dead man walking.
Take my hand, boss.
We totally should.
That would be amazing. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. I want the truth.
We totally had to make like the fart version of like movies made better by farts.
Honestly, I actually believe that exists. If you
What?
go on YouTube, I'm pretty sure people have done that.
Oh man,
I've seen something like that before. Like just maybe not every movie, but I think somebody just added farts to something. I'm also sensitive to light, but like apparently this just solves that for me.
Here's that movie they were trying and then fell.
Very
Remember
similar.
before?
Yeah, very similar to in Blades of Glory when they did the
It
triple
is
lotus
too.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever the fuck it was called.
Oh, there was his only high kick, but you notice you
He
couldn't
did
see
pretty
if
good.
it was him.
Yeah, it wasn't him.
That was probably Mark Dacascos wearing his
Probably
pants.
Alyssa Milano for
Ching,
Christ's
ching.
sake, stepping in for him.
Why is he
He
just seems
like
weird.
whoa.
Oh, look at this too. Like, why does it, like, everything had to be so weirdly buddy, but why isn't he so bothered that he just lost all his power?
Yeah.
And then, let's talk about
He's
this
like,
for
huh,
6 hours.
Oh my God, they just joined Mortal Kombat.
No, it's not even Mortal Kombat. Like, these are...
She died?
Yeah, remember?
I'm trying to not.
We've talked about it a lot.
Who killed her?
For hours before, and that she died in the fire when they burnt down the...
Oh, yeah, and they were sad about it
Yeah.
now. Oh, yeah, that's why they were sad. Because it was like their mom.
Oh my God! Like, to me, this looks
Look at
like...
that kid. Did you see that kid?
Yeah,
like,
no, I'm telling you.
My Lord.
But like, it looks to me like they were doing like
It's
what
probably
they thought was a
accidental
fancy
trip.
porno. Like he's just
that
like we're
pirate
just
one
like,
had a bigger budget than this.
Yeah,
And it made way more money too.
Or if they were doing Double Dragon on ice.
Double.
See, look at. I wish I could just rewind it, but you look where his kick went compared to Mark Dacascos. Mark Dacascos hit him in the solar plexus, whereas
Whoa!
yeah,
Uh-oh, now they're gonna
he,
humiliate him.
Like he may have kicked him in the leg. He sounds like fucking like Bill and Ted here too. He's been a serious dude the entire time. Now he's like, whoa, totally. Hey, bro, I'm Donatello.
I wonder if he's really like this. Like, is this killing him to do this? You know, or is he actually like a funny kind of happy-go-lucky kind of guy? Does he seem like that to you?
I feel like he could have a little bit of fun. Like, he did a lot of comedy things doing T-1000. Like, he had a sense of humor about the character and all this kind of stuff, right? Oh, yeah, I wanted him to squeeze her ass there a little bit. Like, just like, oh.
I like your blonde hair. Reminds me of your mother's bush.
She straightened that hair, too. She's the only person. She's the only girl whose pussy had bangs.
Bang the bangs. Bang, bang. She bang. She bang. What was that guy's name?
William
Hunger.
And he was in Arrested Development. William Hung and his hung jury.
The hung jury.
What's wrong with your Reinhold?
Oh my god, what's he doing here? Oh, he's still possessed.
He's still possessed, so he basically just gave himself up and gave all of his money to the police department, which doesn't solve everything. There's still a purge. Like,
yeah, they're pretty corrupt probably too.
Yeah, like this guy now. Double Dragon 2 is this guy in a gigantic house with Alyssa Milano, and she hasn't like caught on to the fact that everybody is that everybody is corrupt around her. She's just like, wow, like my dad must have got a really good promotion after all this.
That's all he tells him. He got a great raise.
Yeah, I liked.
God brought another maid in. Gonna bring her down to the basement. You're not gonna see her ever again. So say hello, bye now.
Like that high five thing that they do, like the one fist and the one high five.
Oh, like yes. It's a kumite, bro.
Oh, to me, it was more like Jon Stewart, like when somebody go to fist bump him and he just put his hand on it and shake the fist. Like
all awkward, you don't know what's going on, right? Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I love when people try and make up, like, secret handshakes for their movies and stuff like that. Now, do you think they made this with a sequel in mind? Because they kind of, like, open up, they've given each guy specific powers. They've got, like, you know, I don't know, like, given them these costumes and all this kind of stuff. Like, do you think that there was a chance they were thinking franchise, or do you think that this is just how they were going to end it?
I don't know. I bet you they could just make up anything.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, we planned a sequel, but it seems like it could be open-ended enough or, like, ambiguous enough. Okay, but if there was a sequel, would it be Double Dragon 4?
Quadruple Dragon.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And you know they're both going to slam her on the back of the car.
Absolutely.
You got to listen to the interview, okay, because I tried very hard to not repeat the same things I said.
Yeah, we do.
So you have to watch the interview, the beginning.
Yeah,
listen to the whole thing because it's really killer. There's a lot of good material in there.
Mm-hmm.
What did he say?
He was just asking if he could drive and stuff like that, or like the acting too. Just all the little movements. It's just like I don't know. Like he looks like he's out of Pee-wee's Playhouse or something like that. Like every movement is so weirdly decided. I know how you drive.
Yeah, let him drive. He seems like it.
Yeah, well, he's thinking that like he can't move like
if they
in
could
a regular
do that to him,
fashion.
could they reverse it? Or is he stuck like this forever?
I would assume he's stuck like this forever. But like, why do they always have to do this though? Like, we gotta make one of the bad guys the good guy at the end or something like that.
I feel bad for him. That's why.
I hear you. So, and the worst ending.
So I guess Buddy ended up with her.
Yeah, I guess. So now we got to go to BJ because he has a weird take on how they decided to end this movie.
They just allowed him to drive.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, what did they go back on there? Oh, wait, here it is.
No, we got to go to BJ right now.
This is one of those things where, you know, obviously when I was little and first saw this movie, I had no conception of what Kevin Smith was. But if you've seen the Clerks cartoon, there's an episode where Dante Randall put on trial. He says that they literally had no idea how to end the episode. So the episode breaks down and becomes this crazy Korean animation thing. And just stuff is happening, and there's like giant robots, and And then there's this line where Dante and Randall get into the car, and it says, "Who is driving the car?" And then it cuts to the front. And you see that there's a bear driving. It goes, "Bear is driving the car. How can this be?" And so it's become like a little bit. If you Google "bears driving the car," you will see the exact scene I'm talking about. It's become a little bit of a meme within like the Kevin Smith fandom. But when I saw the scene again, I was like, oh my God, Abobo is the bear.
Yeah.
Like he's just there for no reason, driving the car off to do whatever. And so it's such a weird sitcom-y ending.
Yeah.
That with the benefit of like seeing this other stuff, it's funnier. But I think what's crazy to me about this scene is like it has no real purpose in being in the film. They were just like, we don't know how to end this movie, kind of like how they didn't know how to end the episode. So let's end it on a silly note where the farting guy drives them away before they tag team the hot girl.
Oh, exactly. No doubt. But,
Absolutely.
Well, can we also discuss, too, the two Asian gentlemen who are at the end and seeing all this stuff going down? Can we discuss not only Al Long, who we talked about earlier, who is in everything, but their names are Huey and Lewis.
Yes, I saw that.
Like, and the line does occur where Robert Patrick goes, "Huey, Lewis, what's the news?" And I almost killed myself, and this podcast almost didn't happen. Like it was just, I saw it coming.
Okay, so okay, so again, like I'm convinced that there was a better movie here because there's a lot of RoboCop elements. Like there's that scene where they're doing the news broadcast where Vanna White is playing herself and doing the news, and Andy Dick is the weatherman, and so to me. Like very clearly, there was a different film here where they had lines like, "Who's the boss?" or "Generally, I put people in the hospital." Like I'm convinced that line, "What's the news?" is left over from that better movie,
Absolutely.
where it wasn't taking itself seriously and they were just having fun and fucking around.
Yeah. Well, and also this movie takes place in 2007, and I can speak to the fact that Vanna White does not look that good in 2007.
Right.
She actually looks better in
Alyssa Milano
2017.
I think as beautiful now as she was then. So
Yeah, well, she looks great. She's aged well, but then you can also then put Andy Dick up against that same barometer, and he's not going to come out so clean.
No, that's very true.
It was all so crazy to me, and I started kind of again just writing my own movie on this because I started that thinking on that purge and stuff like this, and then the idea of Alyssa Milano being the head of this power core thing, and I thought, okay, so we've got a fairly simple movie here. You get the main bad guy, the head of all these gangs and stuff like that, orders the girl to be killed, who's like the head of the power core, like cut the head off the snake kind of thing. And Billy's got a thing for her. She gets kidnapped or hurt or whatever. And then they go out to try and end everything. And that becomes more like the game too, where it's just, okay, the bad thing has happened. And now to make the good thing happen, we just have to fight a bunch of people to get to the end. But they never did that. They just kind of like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm here and I'm doing this thing. I'll see you later. And it's like, cause I'll come up again, but not the way you think.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly right. I mean, very clearly, I think that the actors were sort of like, they know that this is going to be the shits, and so they just went to business for themselves. And so I'm convinced that they did, at one point were probably just making stuff up on the fly and then shoehorning it into what should have been a very, very simple, uncomplicated film. I mean, yeah, the video game's plot is that the bad guy punches Marianne in the gut, slings her over her shoulder, and then walks away.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then you're just chasing them. It's a side scroller where you're just chasing them through the streets. I just feel like with this film, there's so much going on. I really want to know. Like, I really want Paul Dini to do the sit-down interview with me where we talk about this film and what went wrong. And I don't think he's going to do it, but I keep trying. Let me ask you guys something. Like, so I got into this argument on Twitter, which is where all arguments take place. Double Dragon is the worst reviewed video game film. Really? I think it's according to Rotten Tomatoes, it has the lowest score of any video game film released since 2018, really. And so I'm of the belief that would make it the worst video game film. Do you guys agree with that, or do you think that there's something that's worse?
Doom.
There.
Okay. Doom.
You talking about hell? Doom was a hell. Oh my God.
I agree. Doom was worse.
Mario Brothers is way worse.
Super Mario Brothers is worse because it doesn't even it barely acknowledges the fact that it is Mario Brothers.
Right.
And it's like other than like Goombas don't look like Goombas. Nothing is what it seems like. They made attempts in this movie. And
that big penis dude is totally the exact same character as the friendly Goomba in Mario Brothers.
Yeah, I was actually going to
Like
bring
the
that up.
same
too.
fucking character.
Yeah, it's every like I think they actually like laid out a thing. And what's really interesting too is the directors of Super Mario Brothers did Max Headroom, so they were all style over function, right? So when I watch that movie, I try and take that, keep that in mind. I actually reached out to John Leguizamo and Samantha Mathis to see if I could get either one of them to speak to me. Bob Hoskins was not returning my calls for some reason. But,
Can't imagine why.
Yeah. Nobody reached back. So.
I reached out to John Leguizamo once and he slapped my hand away real fast.
You were reaching below his belt. You were reaching like you were Scott Wolf trying to kick him. But it was, so I mean that one was crazy because it's like it didn't even make an effort to be the movie it was. It's like if you buy the rights to Lord of the Rings and then said, oh good, now that I have the rights to this famous name, I'm going to make something completely different. It's going to be about racism in LA in the 60s and pornography. Like it might as well have been the same thing to me. It was just like they slapped in just enough to make some toys that would remind people of the video game, and that was the end of it. Other ones I'm thinking Mortal Kombat Annihilation was.
What about yourself? Do you have one that you think is worse that we didn't mention?
Tekken is pretty bad.
There's a Tekken movie?
Pretty bad.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Ugh.
There is a Tekken film, and it's just as bad as you think it is. I think, Annihilation was the one that I was the most disappointed with, that I really was looking forward to the sequel, because I loved Mortal Kombat because I was the appropriate age when it came out. I was little, and I was like, this is awesome, and they're ripping off each other's heads?
Yeah.
What? So when Annihilation came out, I was like, all right, wait, Sonya Blade didn't even come back. You got a different actress, and there's that catfighting scene, which is great. A+, but it has no purpose whatsoever, and then it's just bad on so many levels. Like you can close your eyes and say, all right, this is what's going to happen next, and you would be spot on with Annihilation. So personally, to me, that might always be the worst.
And its biggest failure too was a sequel like that, because the first one actually had a pretty low budget, all things considered.
Right.
It had the opportunity now we've made money with it, and we can bolster that budget, and we can learn from the mistakes. And they didn't. They made more mistakes. And it was, it was like things like, like Goro in Mortal Kombat was really weak. And like you had the punch in the nuts moment with like the crossed eyes, and that's just upsetting, but it is what it is. And but then you have this ability to go back, and it's like, okay, now we can make good on that. And I feel like that's what the TV show was really trying to do, is we're going to make good on all the things they failed to do the first time.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they just went so overboard. There's stuff in that second movie that serves absolutely zero purpose. That's just like the cyborg ninjas are there for no reason, and it goes completely unexplained other than, oh, hey, there they are. And it's like, wait, what? So yeah, I think that's, now that I'm thinking about Tekken might actually be the worst. But I haven't seen the Yui Ball film, so I know that those are said to be pretty bad.
In the Name of the King. I feel like, though, this was the era that really kind of soured people on video game movies for a long time. Like, Nintendo was out. They were actually in pre-production for Metroid when this movie came out, or when Super Mario came out, and then they just scrapped it. They're like, you know what, forget it. These can't.
It's only recently that they're getting back into it. It's only like this year that they very slowly have said, you know what, we're doing Detective Pikachu, and I think we're going to do some more animated content on more animated films. So, I mean, the 2018 versus what year was Mario Brothers? 93, 92?
Thereabouts, yeah.
Something like that.
But and the big thing, especially, I think it was exactly that, is everybody who took these things, and superhero movies I can probably throw in there as well at the time anyways, was everybody was just blowing it. This was before like Sam Raimi Spider-Man, and people were like, wow, cool, but it's people were afraid to touch these things, but now you can see people actually like looking at the source material and not treating it like a joke. We've talked about that.
That's it right there, is the using the source material. Yeah. That's what killed me about all these movies. Is like they never even watched it, and they're just like, yeah, a double dragon, yeah, two-headed dragon. He falls out with his old lady. You know what I mean? And it's just all these guys who never even played the game or care making the movie.
I kind of wonder, now, I mean, I didn't see Assassin's Creed, so I can't speak to it, but I wonder if now did it follow it?
No, I didn't. I didn't see it. I was kind of in that same space.
I didn't step foot even near the theater when Assassin's Creed came.
Yeah,
Like, fuck that.
He went and saw no movies just to be safe.
Woo.
He didn't want to accidentally
Or like when you're in a theater and you can kind of hear the other movie next to you before yours starts, I would kill myself.
Yeah. I didn't. It was one of those things because I didn't know the world, and Warcraft would probably be another one that would fall under that. I didn't know the game, so I was like, okay, I'm already going in a disadvantage. So then, if it's not a million times better than what the game is, I couldn't possibly like it. So I'm like, I'll find it someday when it's on TV or something.
Yeah, Final Fantasy Spirits Within.
Yeah,
was another one that to me was very, because that was coming off of Final Fantasy VII.
Mm-hmm.
And the explosion of popularity. So I went into the theater thinking, okay, you just told a great story. Just do that. And then you got this movie that has nothing to do with anything. Like that movie just, it's irrelevant. It's like something that they just made and slapped a Final Fantasy name on it. It wasn't until Advent Children came out that you're like, okay, this is a decent video game film.
Yeah, I get it. Final Fantasy wasn't something I knew.
I saw Spirits Within, and he's correct. It was like, what the shit?
Well, and
it has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah,
like
nothing.
It's just Final Fantasy.
It's kind of like Halloween 3.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The only reason I went and saw Final Fantasy Spirits Within was because it looked so advanced for an animated movie.
It did.
And I was like, well, I got to go check that out. And I didn't know anything. And then literally I walked out, they might as well have not even put the audio up because it didn't make any difference to me. It was like watching an episode of Baywatch. I'm like, oh, there was a plot or something? Great.
But it's crazy to me that it also goes the other way. Like we had video games that were based on films that were awful.
Yeah.
Like I remember having some of them were great. Like Aladdin for the Sega Genesis is considered a classic.
Sweet game.
But then you've got Wayne's World for the Super Nintendo, which has got to be one of the most god awful things ever invented.
Hudson Hawk for Nintendo is very up there too.
So it matches the movie then.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
Well, they always did that thing where it's like it's a movie without action conflict that we're going to give you a video game, and it's like, oh, what are you going to do? I'm going to jump up and collect CDs. Oh, does that happen in the movie? No, not at all. But got to put out something. It's like that Super Mario Brothers 2 thing where they just took a different game and threw Mario on top. I feel like that's what happens with these movie games.
But you know what's crazy? So Double Dragon and Street Fighter are the only two that I can think of where they went and reskinned the game based on the movie.
Yes.
So like Street Fighter came out, and then they went and reskinned Street Fighter with the actors.
Yep.
And put it down in the arcade, and then they didn't reskin everyone for Double Dragon, but they did go and change the game around to match the movie.
Yeah,
that's not something we've seen.
Yeah, I can tell you though, in my research, they planned on reskinning them, and they scrapped the plans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had a thing, and they basically, the video game company came back to them and said they weren't going to be able to get it done on time because it was basically supposed to come out with the movie, and they didn't give them enough time to get it going. So they're like, we can't do it, and then they ended up doing they did like a fighting game in Japan and a couple of other things. There was a couple of iterations, but yeah, none of them were like the movie realistic.
Right.
Versions that like we saw in the Street Fighter one, or it's like looking like the Mortal Kombat game essentially.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we thank you so much for coming and doing this with us and taking the time, and we took a lot of your time here. So
thank you guys for having me.
Thank you very much. You're a cool dude, man. I like your style.
Infinitely more interesting than us, so it's very nice to have interesting people on this show. We again just want to say social media is bullshit. Privacy and How We Get It Back, and issue 1 of Vengeance Nevada. They're all out there. Go find them. Go and check this stuff out. B.J. Mendelson, thank you so much for being a part of this.
Oh, thank you guys. I had a blast.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
All right, so we just want to take the time again to thank B.J. for everything. He was such a great interview.
It's a good sport, too.
Please tune in on Monday. The entire interview. So everything you've heard and so much more that you haven't heard. I would argue probably over an hour of unheard stuff in this interview.
Oh, yeah.
And it's completely uncut, and you can listen to the entire thing, and it's well worth the listen. In the meantime, make sure you're checking out BJ's work. Social Media is Bullshit was the book he did.
Yep.
Privacy and How to Get It Back is another book that he did. He's actually in the midst of updating Social Media is Bullshit because it's a little older now, and he's
He's gonna pull the old LucasArts and throw a couple of scenes we missed.
It's a lot of digital pages
yes.
that he's doing, but it's all right. And then check out his comic, Vengeance Nevada. Issue 1 is out, and it is fantastic. And make sure to go and find that, and follow him on Twitter at B.J. Mendelson. Do all those great things. Now, I'm gonna say the same things, but about us. Okay. Catch us on miscastcommentary.com. Follow us on Twitter at Miscast Podcast, at JK Finley, at Miscast Todd, and as always at Miscast TV. And go check out the videos that we're doing there. Different from stuff that we're doing here. Because
how so?
Well, we just cannot stop finding fucking things to talk about.
It was strange.
And it's like, we finished doing this, and it's like, I forgot to talk about 1,100 things.
Yeah.
So we're going to go take care of that now. That's those kind of things. Find us on Instagram, all these different things. Look us up. You know how to find us. Little bit of news. We've announced it in other places, but I will announce it here. We are now on iHeartRadio.
Boom!
For anybody who is looking for another place to find us, to stream us, and do all that kind of thing. So if you have the iHeartRadio app, or if you don't have it, go get it. And hopefully we'll have some more news for you soon. We're looking at finding a couple of more. We're trying to get in a couple of more doors. But as always, find us on iTunes, find us on SoundCloud, Google Play, all those different things. Please make sure to like or subscribe or comment, all those different things. They do help us get seen. We are very proud that as of this recording, we are the number 8 film and television podcast in the United States. So let's get that up in Canada too. What the hell? Like, we are so Canadian, and none of our Canadians are like behind us. Everybody was too busy voting in fucking Rob Ford. Hey, you know what Donald Trump's missing about him? He's not related to fucking Rob Ford. We need Doug Ford, because he's Donald Trump, who's related to Rob Ford.
Oh God.
Fuck that. Anyway, sorry, I don't want to get.
I don't want to get full grab there, eh?
But now
tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, but now that we've discussed that, he was like, I guarantee you,
really
people voted for him.
It was more of you venting.
Yeah. Oh, like literally, it's like I opened up one little vent, and just all the air escaped
Everything
at once,
comes
and it's out of my system.
It's fine. That's what the Ford Nation does to you.
Ford Nation. Fuck.
Yeah.
Don't even buy Ford cars now because of that.
He ruined it for everyone.
Fuck.
He ruined organized crime for me. You wouldn't know how much I loved organized crime.
It was the best.
I know. Now I'm just like, bleh. I don't even care. Not even into it.
Totally ruined it. Anyways, tune in next week. We are going to re-announce the movie we've already announced that we're doing. We're going to bitch further about the fact that we're having to re-record it. And I do apologize. It is 100% my fault that it occurred.
I'll just blame it on me. They're going to blame me anyways, even when you fucking say that you did it.
I know. Yeah, they're like, he's so noble.
Exactly. You're like taking the heat off that fucking time.
Protecting his poor, handsome oaf friend.
I like chocolate.
This one's on me, folks. But we're gonna do that. So you're probably gonna hear. I don't know that you're gonna hear bitterness. Actually, I think there was a lot. I think we're actually dodging a bullet, because I was editing that episode, and we were not thrilled.
Well, no, we were not. Yeah, it was like being forced to do something, even though we did it ourselves.
And now we're gonna force ourselves.
It's like I signed up for like Chinese water torture twice.
Yeah, it was literally your idea.
Yeah.
But here we go.
I regret lots of my ideas. During, after,
before. You usually 8 seconds in, but it's like, if I don't see it through, people are going to think I'm a quitter.
Exactly. Oh, fuck.
But anyways, tune in next week.
Oh, maybe we can just film that one in like sections, like 10-minute sections or something, and just stick it all together. Just like the movie was made.
Yeah, exactly.
The hell?
I'm just going to do it all in a Brooklyn accent this time.
Sweet.
We're going to get Tony Danza in, and he'll help us. Angela. What does that have to do with Super Mario Brothers, Tony? Moaner.
I'm gonna talk the whole time. I'll just go wee 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 like that girl from that awful Kung Pao.
Oh shit! I didn't know what you were talking about. I was just like, this is the end of Todd. Like, he's having a mental breakdown in front of our very eyes.
Yeah, it's because we have to fucking Mario Brothers get.
It's gonna be good. But anyways, tune in next week. We'll have lots to talk about in the mini episode, I am sure, because there's always a lot going on. And Yeah.
We always have a lot to talk about, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, well, we'll never run out. This movie ended a while ago, so and we gave us a break by playing us talking previous times in this one. So we hope you guys enjoyed it. We'd love to hear any feedback on the episode because I know it was stylistically a little bit different than we usually do with all the clips and all that. So
that was kind of neat.
Yeah, so tweet out at us or email us podcast@miscastcommentary.com, all those good things. But in the meantime, we will see you next week, and we love you, and good night.
Good night.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.
Oh, good day. I don't know when you